I'm back. All right, I'm back. So I'll be on for 2 hours. What's going on, guys? Just wait for people to pop on. Ready to take some calls. Let's do this call thing. Oh, wow. Is it 2 streams still? Okay, maybe it's the same stream. Hi, guys. 2 streams still? Okay, maybe it's the same. Hi, guys. Could you say something? I'm just going to start taking calls right away because I talked the first time. 512-481-7464. 512-481-7464. Let's talk about this crazy election stuff. And I think what I'm going to do, the music's, hey, Mary Ellen. I think what I'm going to do when the music is up, hopefully to be up late sometime before this evening, and I'll just come back on for another hour to let you know when it's released. I'll give you guys all the links, but right now I've been dying to talk about the election stuff. What do you guys think? What have you been watching? What's been going on in your town? 512-481-7464. I'll do a 2-hour call-in. Bob Matson. Hi, Bob. What's going on? The number is at the top of the chat. Can I pin this at the top? Let me see. Oh, I can. That is the call-in number. All this time, I could have pinned the number at the top of the chat. Go figure. All right, I'll just wait. How you guys doing? Bruce the Boss Brooks. What's up? Bruce, do you like Bruce Springsteen? I like Bruce Springsteen, even though I heard he's on the evil side, the side of evil, but I still like Bruce Springsteen. I like that song, I'm on Fire. I love that song. It's such a hot, just that. Oh, I love the song I'm on Fire and Secret Garden. He has a lot of good songs. I like seeing the Trump train falling by. Right? Hey, Dusty. What's going on? So if you guys can see, could you see the call-in number that's pinned to the top of the chat? That would be great to see. Okay, cool. You guys can see it? Pixel Junkie, thank you. All right, cool. So anybody call in and want to talk? I know someone's going to eventually call in. 512-481-7464. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Because last time the Skype was off. Okay, let me double check that. 512-481-7464. All right. Leave that on. Leave that up. How are you guys feeling about the election? What should I do about the medium-sized spider? Oh, hell no. Do you have like a bucket or something you can put over it? Like, how big is it? Is it this big? I'm not really scared of spiders. I'm scared of like those big roaches. I hate those. I like spiders because they eat roaches. Spiders don't really freak me out as much. I will put something over the spider and then I can like, I got a boot to put on the spider. I'm trying to stop killing insects though. I'm trying to get better about putting them outside. If they're big, it just depends. Well, and then I say that, and then the other day there was a fly that got in the house, and it was at night, and I just couldn't take it. And that dude, he had to die. Boiling water to throw at it. How about just hitting it or just putting a jar over it? I don't know. Is it poisonous? Like, do you have a broom? A broom is a good way to just kind of like, you know, because you don't have to You can have distance between the spiders. I don't know. Is it like a jumping spider though? I don't like shit jumping at me. I get in Texas in the fall. One thing that like they have here is some parts, not all parts, but there's some areas that get these black crickets, and they look like giant jumping roaches. They're so freaky, and but they like there's some parts of Texas where they're like thousands of them at a time, where they've had to close the restaurants because they've just been totally invaded by these crickets. And when I first moved here, I didn't know anything about the crickets. And I went inside somewhere. I was like, and I came out, and they started to come out, and it was a gas station, and they were all over the place, and they were like all on the pump. They just engulfed the place. They were all in my car, and I started shaking. I thought I was gonna have a nervous breakdown. And this guy actually was so sweet. He offered to pump my gas for me because I couldn't even, they were just like, so I hate being that afraid of something that I can kill. So I'm really been working on that, because I do jujitsu, and even though I suck at it, I'm not, as I get better, I don't want to be afraid of bugs. Like, that's just an oxymoron. And, but I'm not afraid of like snakes or lizards or stuff like that. If there's a snake, I'm kind of maybe wary if I don't know if the snake is harmful or not, but I actually kind of like snakes. Lizards are cute. I think lizards are cute. Frogs are cute. Like, that stuff doesn't bother me. If it jumped out at me, it might freak me out for a minute, but I'm not really scared. But I don't like bugs in mass and crickets. I mean, and those big roaches. I'm not a fan of roaches, but spiders I can handle. But yeah, I think it's going to be a landslide. Dusty D, after seeing Arachnophobia, all bugs die. I know that was a scary movie. I'm sitting here watching from Oregon. I do not want to raise her with Harris as a president. I know. Yeah, and like they're trying to really get Harris in. They're not really. I mean, they say it's Biden, but they're trying to. I saw this inspiring video. I see this inspiring video on. It was I forgot where it was, but this lady was interviewing these three Black women, and they were like, yeah, like they thought that they were gonna try and get us with the Black girl magic, but that wasn't happening. And I was like, yes, a lot of Black people remember what Kamala did and how she blocked evidence, and as a prosecutor for getting people off for smoking weed. Snakes are okay. Can you see them coming? You can see them coming. Kind of, sort of. It just depends. I don't think you'll have to worry about this. Did you see Kanye on Rogan? I didn't. My friend sent me the video. I just haven't had time to watch it. But I hate Joe Rogan like so much. So if I do watch Joe Rogan, it's because he has somebody on his show that has something interesting to say. But I think Joe Rogan's a sellout and a two-faced little bitch. And, he's very, especially my last straw was when he went off on the anti-vaxxers and saying that we were conspiracy theorists and paranoid and we should just get vaccinated. And knowing that he has friends that are anti-vaccine and have gotten injured by vaccines, I'm just like, you can say, oh, he just said it for the money. But, at that point where you have millions of young minds following you and see you say some shit like that, you might be saying, oh, it's just for the money, but you're selling your fucking soul. Like I have friends that their children have died because of vaccines. They're paralyzed for life. Their families are destroyed. Their bloodlines and generations are destroyed because of vaccines. And he dares to fucking say that, fuck him. He serves money. At that point, he's serving money. If he had integrity, he'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to say that. Or I understand how people maybe don't want to get into it. That's fine for him to come out and say that. He can suck a dick. Oh, I'm sorry. I know your 6-year-old's watching this. I'm sorry, but sorry. That's how I feel. That's my honest opinion on Joe Rogan. And his comedy is not funny. It never was. I supported him because I want to support what he was doing because of, but I'm not like, hey, let's go see the new Joe Rogan stand up. No, I'd rather put peanut butter on my eyes. So I might see it depending on how I feel. I heard it was good. Have I voted? No, I'm going on election day. So now that there are a bunch of people on, I'm going to, like I said, the music's still not, the upload's not ready. The music's ready. The video's ready. I'm still waiting for another thing. So then I have to upload it and link it to a bunch of stuff. But I didn't want to be late because I said I was going to be back around 11:30. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be on for 2 hours. I'm going to take calls. I want to talk to you guys. And then when everything's ready, hopefully by tonight, because I know the people that are going to go out, and I want to get it out before people start going out, if they go out. I don't even know if trick-or-treating is canceled, but I want to get it out tonight. And then I'll come on for like another hour or so to release it. And then this whole week, I'm going to be doing call-in shows again up until Friday. Friday will be the last day for like live call-ins. And then Tuesday, though, I'm going to try and do it every day at 10. But Tuesday, I don't know what's going to happen with election day. I'm going to get up at like 4 a.m. to wait in line. I know it's going to be huge. So hopefully the line would still be, it's not going to take me 6 hours to vote, but who knows? So if I'm late on Tuesday, it's because I'm voting. Do you consider Kamala a Black woman? That's a whole, let me tell you about Pixel Junkie. Let me explain something that I think a lot of non-Black people don't know or they don't understand. So when slavery was going on in this country with Black people, Black slaves, African American slaves, they had this thing called the one drop rule. And it was like, they believed that Black blood went back 8 generations, white people, Black people. This was something that was imposed on society. So if you were Black and you married a white person, you would have a child that was mulatto. If that mulatto person married a white person, then that person would be quadroon, that means a quarter Black. If that person married they had a baby and then that person married a white person, then that person would be octoroon, which was like an 8th Black. And I think that's what like Alexander Dumas, together with Three Musketeers, he was a quadroon. His great grandfather is Black. So they still kind of had this system that I think it's stupid. I don't believe it. But it's still ingrained, and it was really meant to keep people from mixing. It was like, it went like with miscegenation laws, which was like a crime if you, it was actually a crime to marry somebody outside of your race. And, you can go to jail for race mixing and stuff. So it's just like this huge psychological warfare tactic that's been ingrained in Black and white people, but I think Black people more so adhere to it, So I even have people in my family that physically look like white people, but were blood related. But I haven't talked to my other cousin, but one of my cousins, she considers herself Black, even though she totally looks like a white woman. I don't really care. I don't talk to her about it. I don't like. I don't see her that often. So when we hang out, we don't talk about race. And we talk about other shit, I don't really know how she feels about it. But so with that said, there are people, because Kamala's father was mixed. Her father was mixed. He's a mixed Black person. And then he married an Indian woman. She considers, so Black people would consider her a Black woman because of that. But it's very interesting, too, because the racial laws are very different in other countries than they are in the United States. So I mean, it's interesting now, though. I think she's playing the Black card because now that's what the elites want her to play. But I think she didn't do that years ago. I think she played the Indian card, Now she's like Indian. Or she was Indian, Um, so, anyway, yeah, so Joe Rogan is this. I hope that answers your question. I know that was a long answer, Pixel Junkie, but I hope that answers your question. Slow Rogan is a CIA exit. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's sad because he has interesting stuff going, and I actually have respect when he showed Carlos Mencia for taking other people's jokes and stuff like that. Megan Dot Rogan said Kamala is not black. I mean, she's like a little lighter than me. She had, I mean, if I were to see her and know her background, I would assume that she's a black woman. If I saw her walking down the street without knowing anything about her, I'd be like, oh, she's a black woman. To me, the whole black white thing looks, to me, this is how I categorize it. I just go by what you look like. I don't really, I'm like, if you look like, because even if you're like my cousin that's white or looks white, if somebody saw her walking down the street, they're going to just be like, she's a white woman. They're not going to know her background. She's not going to have time to explain, like I'm not totally black, but I look black. So I'm not about explaining my background to people, because people are going to, but that shouldn't matter anyway. It's all petty. So do you watch Officer Tatum thoughts on his content? Is anybody calling? No. The call-in number's at the top. I do watch him not regularly. I haven't watched him in a while, but I think he's great. I think, I don't have any issues with him. He's cool. Oh, my 6-week-old. Sorry. Well, I mean, kids still pick up stuff. I don't curse. Older teenagers that are almost grown, I don't mind so much, but little kids, they pick up curse words like, yeah, we're all mixed. I mean, yeah, people are people regardless of race, for sure. It was from France. Yeah, like most people, most Americans are mixed. But Megan Dot, people consider mixed people black if they're mixed with black. So the whole psychological thing is, if you have one, like, this is how it went too. Like, if people were mixed back in the day from other countries or whatever, you would put down what your mother was. So if you were like Japanese and your mom was Japanese, but your dad was white, you would put down Japanese. But if you were black and your dad was black, but your mother was white, you were still black. So they had a great emphasis on black blood and black bloodlines that still kind of sticks with us to this day. And I know, like, if you don't know that and you're kind of an outsider looking in, it just doesn't make sense to you, because it doesn't make sense. I think that you're right, but I'm just trying to get you to understand the psychology and where all this comes from. I'm making sense with that. It's this whole thing that, like, black blood is so powerful, or so hard to get rid of, that it took 8 generations. That's what they said, to get rid of black blood. So even if you're like the whitest white, like my cousin is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white looking person. And her brother, and I have a few other family members that totally look white. They look white. I don't care what they are. I don't care what they label themselves as. Like I said, I've never really thought about it. Talking to them about it, I don't know how they feel. But it's funny, because if you talk to my cousin, if you talk on the phone, she sounds blacker than me. I guess I could tease her about it. I'm like, hey, Sheba, how you doing? I'm like, hey, girl, like, and she's my little baby cousin. The irony is, she's my baby cousin. She looks white, and she's like 6 feet tall. She's super tall. She's like a model. She's gorgeous. And we never know that, we are blood related, but we are, because our dads are first cousins. So it's just all this racial stuff. It's just, people are people, but there's been so much meaning placed on race. It's just another way to divide us. Thank you for the compliment about my music, the sexy Mexi one. That's funny. I've been watching Caitlin Bennett's content from the Biden supporters of Florida. Hilarious how when Trump wins, they'll shut up, hopefully. No, they're going to have a nervous breakdown. I don't know if I should laugh or feel sorry for them. You know, but have you heard what's happening in Florida? I've been watching what's his face? The guy who's always happy. Turley, what's his name? Is anybody? Oh, somebody's calling. Sorry. Hey, hey, what's up? Hello?
How you doing, Bear State?
Hey, hold on one second. Is there something in the background? Is this hey, what's up? How are you? Is this Guess Again? Guess Again?
Yeah, there you go. You got my voice.
Yeah, hold on one second though. I can't.
You don't have a certain voice, don't you? You have yours, I have mine.
Yeah. You know what though? There's something in the background. Could you turn it down? Do you have the video playing in the background?
I have nothing going in the background. The dogs are all laying down.
Oh, wait, are there two people?
Did I pull my voice down? Is this better?
Yeah, okay.
I think there's two. I can call later.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think all right.
You got two calls going on?
Yeah, okay, you know what? Why don't you stay on, could the other guy, who's the other guy? Could you stay on the line? And then I'll talk to Guess Again, and then you can hang up, and then I'll take, can we do that?
Sure.
Okay, because we're all talking the same, you can listen and stuff. So let's try that and see how that goes. So let's go with
Yeah, I'm on a phone, so I got to turn off the video to call you. So
okay. So let's do Guess
okay,
Again, and then we'll get the other guy. So we'll give a few minutes to Guess Again. How are you?
Well, wonderful. How was your vacation? Did you go anywhere spectacular?
No, I was just working on the music stuff. It's just been a lot of work.
A working vacation.
Yeah, it was a work
like
vacation.
What I do. It's a never-ending thing. You know, you just keep going. Before I shut down the video to call you, we were talking about races and colors, and it's like, you know, we all bleed red, and when it comes down to it, we're going to have to come together to keep our country together, because I'll tell you, this is just amazing what's going on right now, and it's like the propaganda is just flying like crazy.
I know.
I think I sent you an email, and maybe you read it, maybe you didn't, but back in, I think, January 2nd of all days, 2013, Obama signed the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, which made it perfectly legal for our government to spread propaganda all they want. And it's like, man, you know, I mean, we were all over when he signed it, so we probably didn't even know it went into effect. But this is what's going on today. It's just a complete propaganda machine working out there to keep us separated and fighting with each other. And my Lord, I just can't believe this all happened so fast.
I know. You know, it's hold on one second. I'm just taking notes. What was it called? It was a Smith. I know it was a Smith something. The Smith-Mundt. Because I'm gonna actually. Oh, and just a caveat I forgot to say. I'm gonna finish. I have 6 more modules to complete. So for the people that bought the course, I just had to put that aside to finish the music stuff. But I'm gonna get on it. And the next module I'm working on is actually censorship in the media. So I'm actually gonna look that up, and because I just forgot the name of it. It was called the Smith what?
Smith-Mundt. I believe it's M-U-N-D-T. It was already passed, decades before, but they modernized it, which then allowed, because they used it, I guess, to spread propaganda in other countries, but then they modernized it in 2013 to allow them to do it to us. And
so who
knows what this election, and if there's fixing going on or whatever. Now I hear a lot through Brendan O'Connell's website, YouTube, that Trump is a shoo-in, but what happens is you're going to have complete chaos in the streets. So then what's the fix for that other than martial law, that can happen? And then all of our rights are gone, because under martial law, we don't have habeas corpus. We have nothing. We're just stuck under their thumb. It's militarized.
Well, we'll see what happens. I know that I'm in Texas, so Governor Abbott said that he's going to employ the National Guard already just to stop the rioting, because you have a lot of Antifa crazy here. There's lots of crazies here. And there are lots of sleeper cells. And
as far as this rioting goes, if it kicks in big time, we're going to be in big trouble. It's just too bad, that we can't see past the color thing, or the propaganda thing
Yeah.
and just come together as people of one nation and take back our country, you know?
Well, you know what though? I'm starting to get more optimistic. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm seeing the rallies. I'm seeing a lot of people become patriotic and change their mind. Then I realize that they're being lied to.
Yep, right.
And
There's another YouTube channel called War Castles, Russell J. Gold, and he's kind of far-fetched, but what he went through and what he's saying kind of makes sense. And this goes back to, I believe, our United States Incorporated was bankrupt back in the 2000 or at the end of 1999. And he did a lot of things to correct that, and he claims to be quite the man. I mean, if you ever go to the War Castles on YouTube, he's phenomenal. And if this is all real, we're in real trouble.
Well, I mean, we just, at this point, we've done what we can do. We can only, like, I just don't believe him. You know, we prepare, we prep, you know, I have food ready. You protect yourself as much as you can with weapons. You can, you know what I mean? That's all we can do right now and just see what happens. There's only so much we have control over, you know, so I just do what I
and then stay networked. And unfortunately, when shit hits the fan, they can turn off the internet. And it's done it in different circumstances with different things.
We've
they
had
can
a
just
blackout.
shut down the signals.
Yeah.
And where are we at? Because nobody has, you know, radios or hardly anybody, or even landlines where you can connect with people. So, yeah, I mean, I've talked to people that have militias, and they're really tight. And it's like, well, you know, what do you become part of a militia? And is this militia working for the right causes? That's another thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, if you try to, I mean, you kind of war game, you think of strategies, what you can do in certain situations, you prepare, and then after that, you just kind of like you have that. Don't be delusional, but also don't stay in the negativity either, because that's part of the psyop, is to keep us feeling like we're hopeless and to keep us feeling like we can't do anything. You know?
Right. And the worst case scenario is if they don't shut it down, which is what the economy runs on, is the U.S. Postal Service. So we always have snail mail. You know, we can always talk to each other like the old school days. You know.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. At that. Yeah. I mean, you know, we have. I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm not leading anybody or being too Pollyanna, but especially with these last 2 weeks, I've been actually become more optimistic about what's going on, especially just like watching the rallies and talking to people and seeing their reactions. And
right. I guess we'll have to wait till it all plays out.
We have to wait. I'm just hoping. My biggest,
see what the future holds for us.
Yeah, I guess my biggest fear is that I don't want them to go over Election Day. I don't want to have to be waiting to see who wins. But I just think I've been watching Steve Turley. And he's been doing an analysis of Florida, and Florida, you know, they say every president that wins Florida wins the presidency, and they're talking about how this Hispanic Cuban vote has just like making like the Trump support just rise like crazy. And they, you know, and that the Democrats are basically freaking out about it, because it's, even if they try and rig the election, they won't be able to. And then Project Veritas just caught this lady about rigging the election. So now they have their stuff that's coming out, and I'm sure she's saying like a canary. Like, I mean, I think what she was doing was evil, but at the same time, I kind of felt bad for her, because she just basically gave all the information. Like, she was just like, I know she was saying on camera, I know what I'm doing is legal, but I don't care. And this is legal. That she's like buying votes and manipulating people to change their votes. And she even admitted on tape that she knows what she's doing is wrong. I was like, that lady's done for. The only way that she can get her sentence down. And she was naming names. She was naming people. She was talking about judges that were involved. She was really arrogant, but her arrogance, I think, is the thing that's going to save, you know, their arrogance is also the thing that's going to save this country, because a lot of people were, you know, were named and implicated. So I'm sure that they're probably questioning her now. Like, she's she's in big trouble. And if they can stop those votes from being, you know, counted, And if there's more like that, and she named names, I mean, I don't think they're going to get away with it. I really don't. And
I would hope so, but look at what they got away with already. The
yeah,
Hunter
but I'm just
Biden
saying, yeah,
scam,
I know,
the
but
Joe Biden scam, and
Yeah.
everything else. And it's
But-
like, you know, they've been preaching this, you know, lock her up for 4 years now, and nothing comes about it. The Clinton Foundation
But the-
hustle, where it's pay to play. It's like, it seems like it's just completely.
well, we'll see. I'm
out
saying,
of our
but
hands.
the thing is, it is out of our hands. But I think that also they have to build up evidence because the corruption is so deep. So they're going to have to tie all the Clinton stuff with the Biden stuff, and then tie that to everybody else that's involved. The deep state goes all the way up into government and high, you know, global officials. So it's going to take, you know, it didn't take a day to build. It took years to build, and it's going to take a while to take down. So I guess the biggest thing right now is just trying
Hopefully
to.
we have a few more years of some kind of peace before it gets too crazy. We can all get ready.
Well, I think that something's going to pop off around the election. They're probably planning a false flag, or I think they know they're going to lose. I think they're planning a false flag or something big, or they're going to do riots or something. So, you know, I mean, I'm just mentally prepared. I'm mentally prepared for that to happen, and you know. I don't
Amen,
want to see.
sister.
All right, but Johnny, let me get. All right, I guess again. Sorry, let me
Yep.
get back to the
Good
next.
talking to you.
Yeah,
Glad
yeah,
you,
thanks for
glad
calling.
you had everything right, and good to see you back.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah, thanks.
Talk to you soon. Hey, I'm going to send you another package whether you like it or not.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank
You know me. Amen.
Hey, Johnny, and when I finish the course, I'll figure out a way to give you like a code, so you can
Okay.
since you can't pay through
Thanks.
you're not using digital.
Well,
you know?
I can pay, but you know.
Yeah,
you know
yeah, you
me,
don't do
it's like
digital. You don't
cash
do
is
digital.
king.
Yeah, I
And,
know.
and unfortunately, I think that's what's going to bring us down. Now you hear about this reset where everybody goes on a cashless society.
Yeah.
And I was watching something out of China. This guy had 3 flags. I think it was an American flag, an English flag, and maybe an Australian flag. And he was up on maybe 3 stories up, and he was just screaming at the people that they gave him 0 credits because he made a mistake at work. They reduced everything to 0
Yeah.
credits, which I guess means that he can't retire. He has no retirement
Oh,
credits
wow.
to retire and
Yeah.
get some funds. So he's completely
that's
broken. It's like,
Yeah.
man, if this turns into a cashless society, we're in real trouble.
I know. That's creepy. It is creepy. But let me get to this other caller. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks for calling.
good talking to you. God
Okay.
bless you.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye. All right, next caller. What's your name? Thanks for waiting patiently. Hello? Oh.
Yo, okay.
Hey, what's your name?
Bruce the Boss Brooks. Not a Bruce Springsteen fan.
Oh, Bruce of all what? What was it?
Bruce the Boss Brooks.
Bruce the Boss Brooks. Well, that's what they call Bruce Springsteen, the boss. So I thought that's why. I thought you were a fan. All right, what's up, Bruce
No,
the
that was
Boss?
a high school nickname because I used to wear. My mom got me these weird behind jeans that had the Boss logo on it, and it came out like 3D, and I just turned it in my favorite. Like,
Oh, cool. Like the boss, like the wasn't that like a clothing line or something? Boss wear?
yes.
Okay, got you.
They was like, who's the Boss? So I was like, you know what? I'll just make that my nickname. So
But did
I
you know
stuck
that's
with
what
it.
they call?
I'm like, thanks, Mom.
You know that's what they call. That's what Bruce Springsteen's nickname is too. You know that's.
Yeah,
okay.
no, I knew that. And it's funny, I'm originally from Philly, made the big exodus to Texas, though, thank God. But, he was not too far. So I was very much aware of, his similar nickname, but I was like, screw it. I'm going to run with it, make it mine. To remind me more of The Rock. So I can speak to myself in third person.
Okay, cool. So what's going on? What do you think about this?
It's been, now this has definitely been a crazy election. I know they always say this is the most important election of our time every 2 years.
No, but
this is definitely really shaped up.
No, I think this is, I know they say, oh, go out and vote. This is like, no, this is really, the Amish are coming out, dude. The Amish are coming out. They never vote. They don't vote. They're voting this time.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's, the propaganda, though, just seems to be very real with the election in terms of, all of the, and I can't even say all of the polls, because Trafalgar you know, they recently came out with a poll that is actually favoring Trump, but no one wants to mention that. They'll
Yeah.
just focus on all of the other polls that are saying Trump's going to win. But Biden is winning. He has
Yeah.
this insurmountable lead. It's almost as though they're trying to suppress the undecided or independent voters to say, you know what, what's the point? You know, might as well vote for.
They're trying to crush your
Biden,
spirit. They're
like
trying to
you said,
crush.
I'm not seeing that in the rallies.
Oh, totally. Like Biden has like 10 people and then Trump has like 1 million people. Like, come on, dude. Come on, man. Right? As Biden says, he's like, come on, man. Like, come on. I just don't, but and I know people that are secretly, like personally, I know people that are scared to tell other like I know family members that have talked to me. They're scared to tell other people. I have to like not tell other people in the family that they're Trump supporters. I still have to kind of stand alone. But I know other people in the family that are voting for Trump, and they're not telling their own family members that they're Trump supporters. They're not telling their jobs, you know. I know people that are like leaving their jobs or like making ways to leave their jobs because they're afraid to find out. They're afraid that their coworkers are going to find out that they are that they're Trump supporters. And I kind of don't even think that I don't even think that Trump really had COVID-19. I think he had that happen just so he can show that you can recover and be fine, you know?
Right.
And because now in the rallies, he's been talking about stuff like testing and how the testing, he's like, we have more cases because we do more testing, you know, and he's talking about, you know, how you can get in, you can recover really fast. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know I get accused of being optimistic, but I'm really optimistic, you know. I've been praying for the president. I've been praying everybody that's associated with him. I've been praying for Project Veritas. There are a lot of amazing people that are really working to make sure that this is a fair election. There's a lot of people that are working to make sure that, you know, truth will prevail and justice will prevail. And, you know, we can do what we can do. And I think, you know, for the stuff that's out of our hands, I really do believe in praying. I mean, if that's not you, that's fine too. I'm not going to be like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but it's, or just, you know, at least put out good thoughts about what you want to happen if you don't believe in praying, you know, like that's all we can do. Like there's only so much we can do. We have to like, you know, surrender certain parts if we're not physically, we can go vote, you know, we can, you know, maybe give other people information that might help them vote the way that we think they should vote, but you can't force anybody to do anything, you know? So.
Right. Yeah, no. Definitely, as Ralph Smart would say, you know, just trying to raise the vibration.
Oh, what does he say? Can I get a hello there? That dude, right?
Can I get a hello?
Yeah. Hello, right? Is that what he says? Right? That's what's Infinite Waters?
Yeah,
that's right,
Ralph Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I watch everybody. I know all kinds of YouTube channels. I watch too much. I knew the truthers. I knew the stuff. I knew like crazy shit. Somebody might call and be like,
kind of forced me to like.
Really?
Started watching YouTube.
Like, really? Yeah, I don't watch TV, but
that was some people.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you in Philly right now?
I mean, this lockdown kind of forced me to discover a lot of y'all these past several months. So I'm like discovering all these different people, and they're just helping me, you know, through this as far as, you know, just trying to stay positive and, you know, with the outcome and see through a lot of what's going on. And like you said, I'm positive about the outcome because even despite all of the polls, Frank Luntz did his focus group after the debate, and despite the fact that they were pretty much all undecided, it was like maybe 13, 12 people in his focus group, and they all said, you know what, I don't like Trump, I don't like Biden personality-wise, but I think Trump won this debate, and he may be winning me over, not because of his personality, but because
his
things like the economy,
his
and
policies.
they're just not buying some of the stuff. So I'm like, that's not what the polls are saying, but I don't think the polls are right. So I'm optimistic.
Oh, the polls are lying. It's like they're lying through their ass. They're lying through their ass, just like they did last time. Though, remember how they were like, "Oh, Hillary's going to win," and at the time, I still hated the media. I didn't know that they were as corrupt. I felt like with this election and with the COVID thing, I've reached a whole new level of awareness and wokeness, so to speak, because I was like, dang, like I knew they were corrupt, but I didn't know that they were corrupt, you know? And I believe the polls the first time, you know, and they remember how they're like, oh, Hillary's going to win and it's good. But I didn't vote at all because I didn't care. I was so detached from voting and, you know, thinking that that can even make a difference that I didn't even vote. You know, I hadn't voted since the first time Obama was in 2008. So I haven't voted since 2008, basically.
Like 12 years? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's going to be interesting, right? I've not voted. So, you know, the polls are lying. The polls are lying. And I've been watching, if you can watch, do you watch Sky News Australia?
Yeah.
Right? They're really doing good coverage. And then, what's his name? Steve Turley? Is it Steve Turley? The older guy, he's always happy. He's like, hello, I'm Steve. He's like a professor and he has like this beard and he's an author and he's a classical guitarist. He's a very interesting guy. And he seems like if I had a teacher, you know, in college, like I definitely would have liked him. You know, he's very, very optimistic and very, but he's also very, very, you know, he's older, so he has a lot of knowledge that we're not being told through the mainstream news. And then he's also going out. He has a conference today that's going on, by the way. But he's basically been like analyzing Florida, and he's been, you know, his focus is on trying to get people to think positively. Because you can think negatively or you can think positively. But if there's something, it's out of our hands either way, with the exception of going out and voting. And then after that, we just have to see what happens, right? But you can either have a choice to be positive about it or negative about it. I'm choosing to be positive about it because I believe that also that energy like forces outcomes, right? So it's kind of like the law of attraction. If I'm worried about it all the time, and if I'm just going to draw that to me. And I'm not, but I'm also saying have a healthy balance. I don't want to be delusional and be like, you know, because a lot of people on the Biden side, they're kind of like delusional because they're just believing what the mainstream media tells them. They're not going out and talking to people. They're not looking at the comparisons of rallies and the parades and the boat parades. I mean, it's like Trump has like these boat parades with thousands of people. There was this one city that had this boat parade, and it broke a record for their town. They had like over 1,000 boats on the water for Trump. You know, I think in Florida they had like a parade or whatever, 30,000 people in the parade for Trump. You know, Cubans are like, they're not even going for this shit a little bit. The Cuban friends I've had friends that have lived in Cuba, Romania, Czechoslovakia, and they've been under socialism. They're and communists. They know that it's a fucking nightmare, and they're like, oh hell no, you know, they're not having it. That's what they came here to get away from. You know, they're not having it.
And the
Obama
administration cozying up with Castro. They're like, no, we ain't having none of that.
They're like, we ain't have, they're like, no, So, I mean, we'll just see what happens. I really think that he will win by a landslide because I'm looking at polls that aren't you know, biased, left side biased, but not only that, I'm just looking at what's going on. You know, how does Biden, you know, people don't like Biden really, you know, they're voting for him because they're voting against Trump. But, you know, and I've seen all these amazing footage of people that have been interviewed within the last few weeks that have turned around and that are voting for Trump, that have changed their mind. And after the debate, you know that one of the biggest searches was, can I take my vote back? Right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, go look that up. That's going to be interesting. Can I take my vote back? I think if you vote it by mail, and I think you can in some places if it's before a certain date. So, you know, and I think this last debate was the best. This is the best that I've seen Trump debate-wise, you know, because even though I like Trump and I understand why he gets so feisty, because people are just lying on him and his family and his supporters all the time. So I would probably have the same attitude, you know. I'm like spunky like that. I'm feisty, you know. I don't care. I'd talk over people if I get, but you know, like I understand that, but he was the coolest that I've ever seen him, you know, cool, like more even with his speech and how he delivered stuff. And I'm glad that he really, you know, one thing I'm glad that he laid out, which I knew, but I'm glad that he laid it out like that. about the factories and how we need factories, and they need to run on. You know, he goes, yeah, like he was basically saying like the windmills and stuff, they can't power the factories, which is true, right? They can't power the factories that we need to make things, and we need to be independent of other countries. We can't be dependent on other countries, you know, to make a lot of our products. And the thing is, like, I would actually say that I think fracking is bad and that shit needs to stop. But what needs to happen is you can't just take people's jobs away from them. You have to give them something to work with. If the people that are working doing the fracking and stuff, if they're like, hey, we're going to switch over to fracking, but we're going to train you in the new technology so you have a job, right? That's really what people care about. But they try and make it sound like, oh, you're a terrible person because you don't care about the environment. Most people care about the environment. Most people aren't stupid. And a lot of these people that they're saying don't care about the environment, that are factory workers, they probably have no more about ecology than the average person at Silicon Valley, because they hunt and they garden and they do all these, you know, they build things with their hands. While these people, you know, that are like, you know, but let's talk about the computers and how, you know, computers aren't biodegradable, how computers are creating a lot of waste, and how, you know, all the mining and all the trees and all the animals that die because of the mining for minerals that people need to do to make computers, and all the radiation that the computers make, right? But they don't want to talk about that.
Right.
They don't see their hypocrisy, you know?
No.
So
I mean, at all.
yeah. So it's just like I get that, and I get, you know, that's the thing that kind of turns me off. I mean, I think that I look at some of the environmentalists and I have a lot of respect for them because they do invent really cool things to like help with the environment, or they have, you know, I have respect for that. But, you know, because it's so left leaning and because of the propaganda, they just make it seem like, oh, you don't care about the environment. These people are trying to support their families. You know, and if the same thing were to happen to them, if they were like, oh, we have to stop making computers, we have to stop using computers, you know, then people in Silicon Valley would have a shit fit, you know? Oh, how would I pay for my iPhone? How would I pay for my Tesla? You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
How, you know, so it's not, so I get it. And I'm so glad that he's bringing jobs back. And I see, like, I get it now. I get how people are so emotional, and people just, you know, we just all want the same things. You know, we want to support our family. We want a place to live. We want, you know, we just want all around the world. We just want basic things. We don't want war. We want a house over our head. We won't have to struggle. We want freedom. That's it. It's really that simple. But we have all these people getting in the way of that because they want to control us. And it's like, I feel like the right side in this moment in history, they're working to serve the masses, while the left side is working to control the masses, you know?
Or they live in a bubble, because, I mean, like that. I'm originally from Philly. I just moved to San Antonio recently, but just speaking from, you know, my life in Philly, it's like they live in a bubble. Like, you know, I used to work for Citibank at one point up there, and then Citibank closed up shop, left the Philadelphia market completely in 2013. I got a job in healthcare insurance, but it was easy to do that. Philadelphia's market didn't change at all. When you live in these coastal cities like Philly, New York, you know, Los Angeles, you know, Seattle, things like that, a major entity like a Citibank can completely leave, close up shop, doesn't bother the economy because there's thousands of other jobs and there are big companies you can get up with. But when you go to like the middle of Pennsylvania, which a lot of people don't realize, Pennsylvania is Philly on the east, Pittsburgh on the west, and then Alabama, literally Alabama everywhere in the middle. That's truly like Amish country, the salt of the earth, the farm mine, the mine, and everything like that. And they're very dependent on, you know, that way of life. They'll be glad if there was actual jobs available that for alternative energy in those small towns, but there's not. And when you have people like Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden said, we're going to put you coal miners out of business, no more new fracking, things like that. They care about the economy, but like you said, they also want to put food on their tables. And if you take away that industry, there's nothing left in those small towns. And a lot of these liberals don't understand that life.
Well, but they want
jobs someplace else.
They're so self-serving and such virtue signaling narcissists that they won't understand until maybe it happens to them. Maybe, you know, because if tell them that they're going to have their Silicon Valley job taken away from them, what are they going to do, right? You know?
Yeah, I know.
It's the same thing. So
Yeah.
like they don't care. They don't care about those people. They act like they're so caring, they're so loving, and they care about humanity. They don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. Even the people that, you know, they wear the mask and they're like, I'm doing it to protect other people. But yet they don't give a shit when you're talking about the deaths of despair being more than the people that have actually died of COVID. You know, they like people killing themselves and losing their business and losing their businesses that they've worked their whole lives to build, or, you know, or losing their family businesses, or, you know, people that I have friends that have a couple friends have serious mental problems and they've gone downhill. I'm talking like schizophrenia, bipolar, because of this lockdown, you know, because they can't go out. Like going out, exercising, connecting people was the thing that was keeping them sane. And now it's made them worse. But they don't care about
they'll
those
put
people.
the
Like,
onus
fuck those
on
people, right?
Like you and me who are against, like, you know, we'll speak against vaccines, we'll have our opinions on that, and they will put every single death on us for being responsible. But then when you turn the table around on them, well, suicides have shot up 133%. Domestic abuse and sexual assault have increased, you know, dramatically. And those are things that aren't seasonal, but that you live with. They will not own that.
Oh, they don't care. Well, I've seen people talk about, like, in one breath, how they talk about, oh, you need to get vaccinated because, you know, you're putting us all in danger if you don't. And I care about people and I care about children. But at the same time, if a mother says her daughter died from a vaccine injury, they'll curse her out and threaten to rape her. Like, literally. I've seen that happen. Like, literally. You know, you effing bitch, you need to get raped. Fuck you. I don't believe your kid's not. It's like, you know, my best friend, you know, she had a blog. And her son's nonverbal autistic, vaccine injured. They, you know, call her kid fat and shit like that. And, you know, just these are horrible people. And the same breath, but then they'll just be like, you know, and the same people that say they care about people, you know, going around and harassing people that don't wear masks. Well, what if they were a rape victim, or they have PTSD or emphysema or asthma? Like, there's so many reasons why people don't wear masks, but you're going to shame them in addition to their trauma, you're going to shame them because you think that they're being a selfish person by not wearing a mask, even though you have one. What is your issue? You know?
It's interesting. And they wonder why there's a silent majority. Like Cato Institute just back in this past August did a study, come to find out on their study, 62%, they said, of all Americans they are afraid to say what they really think on certain subjects. And then they broke it down by political identification, which came out to be 52% of self-identified Democrats are afraid to give their true thoughts on certain issues, 59% of independents, and 77% of Republicans. Obviously, we know why Republicans feel the need to self-censor, why that number is so high, but 52% of the registered Democrats are self-censoring on politics when the left supposedly owns the narrative. Why do they feel the need to self-censor? This tells me that
the abuse.
There is an underbelly of change or sweet going on.
Oh yeah, there are people that, like, you know, I can't say the name of the company, but I'll say it's a huge company, and one of my friends knows the founder of the company, and she was basically saying that he confided in her that, you know, he doesn't believe this stuff, and he had to put up Black Lives Matter stuff. But he doesn't own the whole company anymore. I think he's part of the board, but he doesn't even want to go up against the board of the company that he founded because he's afraid that they're going to oust him. It's insane. The abuse, the crazy people don't want to get their houses burned down. People don't want to get shot. You know, they're murdering people that are Trump supporters. They're burning people's houses down. You know, I had a friend that was run out of the business that her and her husband had built for years. They were run out of the city, had to move to a whole different state because of, you know, they were outed as Trump supporters, even though they let a Bernie supporting band play in their music store. It's just unreal. And I know people that are just voting because of the left and the abuse that I'm voting because of that. You know, I was trying to stay in the middle. I didn't vote last. I sat back and I didn't even really look at any of the debates or anything. I just turned that all off. And, now, because of what I've gone through, just the experience that I've had with the crazy ass leftists in this city, because I don't like to be intimidated, and I don't like to be bullied. I don't like to do what they think. So you try and do that, I'm immediately going to go the other way. I don't cave. That's just not my personality. I don't like follow and like cave in. You know, there's some people that work the other way.
Yeah.
They get abused. They don't, you know, they get scared and they just you know, they cave. But you know, other people. Anyway, you know, I have one guy that's calling. I'm sorry. I know I spend a lot of time with the callers. I like it. I like talking to you guys. I know there are other people that are trying to get through. So, Bruce.
No problem.
Yeah, Bruce the boss. Let me talk to you later. I'm going to be back on later on today too, because I'm going to be releasing my music. So I'll probably jump back on later today when I get all the links set up for like another hour.
All right.
All right.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for calling.
Anytime,
All right.
anytime.
All right. Okay, peace. Bye-bye. I had a what was the number? 631 was calling. You want to call back? 631. 631. Or anybody else. The number is in the. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna turn off the heater because I'm freezing, but the heater's. I'm burning up. Okay, I'm back. All right. Yay. Hello.
How you doing, Cerebral?
Hey, Cerebral, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm excited. How are you feeling about what's going on? I liked your music. Did you get my comment?
I did. I did get a comment. You know, first off, I want to, thank you for everything you're doing, because you're inspiring people, and we need that most at this time, because as you've been talking about, they're, with the propaganda and everything, and people getting attacked, they want us to feel afraid and divided, and the more people like us getting up and saying, no, it's okay. You're legally allowed to stand up for your rights.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I need to know this guy's name. If anybody knows his name, could you please put in the chat? But he's the guy that works at my new favorite news channel, Sky News Australia. He's a little bit kind of chubby, but he has like a dark hair and like a goatee.
Uh-huh.
I don't know his name, but he put it perfectly. He was like, the mainstream media is trying to break the spirit of Trump supporters every day.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do psychologically, right? Because as I say, I believe it's a spiritual war. I think the Amish realize this too, because that's where they're coming out to vote. That shocked the hell out of me. I'm like, they're coming out.
Yeah, no.
I was like, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they know. And
Yeah, no. It's as I can't remember. I forget who said it, but when the spirit of freedom that built freedom is gone, there will be no freedom. So as long as we continue to hold that spirit within us, we are keeping alive America.
Yeah, it is. And the world. And I used to think it was pretentious to believe that America really, the world kind of follows America, but just traveling and talking to people, and especially now, dude, there's a guy that's walking in front of my place with a mask on, and he's by himself. I'm like, there's nobody around. Why are you? I'm sorry. I'm just like, that drives me crazy. That I know they're scared, and I try to be patient, but it drives me. I don't know. Sorry. So what was I talking about? We're talking about. Well, shoot, lost my train of thought. I should have looked at that guy. Warren Pass. We were talking about spirit.
It's okay. It happens. We were talking about the spirit of freedom.
Yes. The spirit of freedom. Yeah, it's really alive and well, and I'm really, thinking about the founders of this country and what they went through, and the fact I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, they were slave masters. I don't really I don't care. I don't care. I still think that even as a descendant of slaves, we're still reaping the benefits of what their idea was,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but they had a whole vision of what America, like what we could do with freedom. And they knew that that was a very spiritual, powerful force. And so they've known that as long as they gave people, you know, hold on, someone's trying to call me, the right to be able to express their values. You know, Washington's major thing was always freedom of speech. You know, and these guys, you look at what they went up against. They went against the old order and built a new order.
I know.
And that's why there's new people that are coming around, like the gay characters and all, you know, these elites. You know, they want to bring in the democratic idea, right? They want to bring in, you know,
well, technocracy, really.
Communism.
I would say
Yep.
technocracy. It's more even.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's technocracy, not just communism. Because look at China. Like, this is my disclaimer. I'm a Sinophile, which means like a person that loves Chinese culture. So I love Chinese culture. I love Chinese people. I'm not dogging Chinese people, okay? But their government's evil. So Trump
The
says
CCP.
China. Yeah, he's talking about the CCP. Like, it's devastated them. And look at how they are controlled by technology. That's what they want to do to everyone around the world. And China was like the beta test for that. And they want to expand that throughout the world. And it's like, I mean, I saw the creepiest thing. You guys like Google this, look for this. It's like in some parts of China, they have these kids that wear these electronic headbands, and it monitors how much they're concentrating in class.
It's disgusting.
And like the teacher has a board at the top that like shows if the kids aren't like concentrating hard enough, and they get a report printed out every day to their parents, being like Qing Ning is not like concentrating enough in class. What do we do? These people are being told the robots, that the factory workers are. I mean, it amazes me how Black people today like to cry about microaggressions and bullshit slavery that never happened to them. And I'm saying it's bullshit slavery. Well, because slavery is bullshit, but I'm saying it never went through anything that their ancestors went through, not even close. But they cry if somebody looks at them the wrong way. Yeah, they're the first people to buy, like, you know, go crazy over Nike footwear and electronics that are made by slaves in China. It's just like, but you're supporting slavery by the shoes that you wear that you're killing each other for. Like, these people are so.
All Prada, like pretty much every corporation that brings our clothing over here is using sweatshops, whether they be based in China, India, you know, Indonesia, Romania. I mean, there's several places.
And there's people treated horribly, like some of the sweatshops are given diapers to wear. They're not allowed to go to the bathroom, so you just have to wear a diaper. You know, I know there was a few years ago. There was one sweatshop in China where the conditions were so bad that workers were like, if you don't like fix our conditions to work, we're going to commit mass suicide. And even some places in Taiwan, they had to put nets around the company because people were just like jumping out the window and killing themselves. And it has to do probably with the chemicals they're exposed to, you know. But, you know.
You're reminding me of like films like THX 1113 by I don't know if you've ever heard that one. That's one of the first films George Lucas put out.
THX, like the sound stuff?
Like the sound company, yeah.
Okay. I think that was based off of, they used a certain kind of sound technology too, right? And that's how the THX came to be. Right? Okay.
I believe that's how it all came down. I don't want to say for a fact.
I think that sounds familiar though, but keep on talking.
But basically, sorry, a package just got delivered. Like, you gotta love when someone comes to distract you real quick. Oh, God. But THX is basically a technocratic dream where they've already got everybody like being drugged immediately when they come out of the test tube. They're growing people by test tubes in this movie, and everyone, like the children get an intravenous like drug constantly pumped into their veins, and the adults, once they're trained, they will take a pill whenever a flashing screen comes on and says, "Do you feel okay? How do you feel today? Do you take your medication?" You know, and it's all about keeping people controlled. They have robots monitoring everybody, and there's like a scene showing like how there's like some of the robots in the machine start having a nuclear reaction and like starts to pretty much melt down. And instead of like, letting those human beings that are being used as slaves to work this, electric factory, they just let them burn to death and kill them. And I mean, it's the direction they're heading.
That's Brave New World. That's basically another rendition of Brave New World, pretty much.
Yep.
And then there was that other movie that was kind of based off of the Equilibrium with Taye Diggs and Christian Bale. Did you ever see that movie? You like movies like that? Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, it's the same concept, right? Because for those of you who are watching for Equilibrium, everybody was mandated daily to take a injection of whatever this drug, and it would basically numb them. It would take away their emotions, so they weren't allowed to show any emotion. And if you were feeling, they would call it feeling, right? And you get like attacked. They're like, "You're feeling like you must go to jail." And then one day, the main character, he's a police officer, and he and you're not allowed to have anything like art or music or animals or anything, because that still provokes emotion. So their whole concept was like, oh, emotion is bad and emotion leads to war, so people shouldn't have emotion. So he forgets his dose. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling it. But a little bit, but he forgets his dose to go to work, and he starts to feel. And I think he has to raid this one place, and he sees this art, and he's just like moved by the art. And then he sees this puppy, and he's been ordered to destroy the puppy, but he like can't destroy the puppy because he like has empathy for the puppy. It's such a good movie. It's such a good movie, but it's the same thing. It's the same kind of concept, right? Brave New World, all this stuff. People control. Oh, and in the movie too, not only do they have to take the shot, but they're controlled every day by television, right? They have television constantly going on and telling them why they do what they do, and not to feel, and feeling is bad, and don't feel, and no art and no music, and we must like work, and that's what they're trying to do to us, really. Maybe you can say that movie is an exaggeration, but I think
right?
it's
like they're sorry.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, I mean, they're trying to stop people like you and me from our music getting out.
Yeah.
They don't want that culture. That's why the first thing they attacked was all the concert venues and all the art venues and like museums and everything that had culture in it, right? Yeah. And then they started saying like characters like John Oliver started coming out and being like, oh, well, America is the most imperfect country. Look at the most imperfect documents they created. Look how racist your Constitution is. And like they were talking badly about everything that has happened in our country. And it's like, yeah, I get it, dude. There's certain things that have happened in history, right? Like, we understand
that happens everywhere. That happens everywhere. And it's just like, what trips me out is how there are people that, I was just talking about this with my friend. I hope she's watching because she knows that I'm talking about her, but we're talking about how people are controlled by shame, and how a lot of people are like, oh, like other countries must think that we're crazy. And I'm like, what, the countries that chops women's titties off and burn gay people alive because they're gay? Like those countries, really? Like we're worried about what they think about us? Like, seriously?
I mean, like you had brought this up earlier about women's circumcision, and I mean, we know, it's terrible. I mean, removing, it's just disgusting. I know that I'm not as probably well researched on it as you, but it's just mind blowing to me that all these other places where they treat people so inhumanely for stupid things.
Yeah.
Right. And then you look at our country, and we've been trying to fix these things, and then you have a bunch of people complaining that we haven't been doing that. It's like, all right, will try to be open. Go ahead.
No. You just try to be open. What? Sorry.
You just try. Well, here, I please go to another country, like I think China. It's illegal to be gay, right? So if like you did a pride down in China, you'd be like killed. They'd literally just take you to one of their re-education camps, possibly, or they'll just walk you away permanently forever.
Yeah, and then harvest your organs without anesthesia. Seriously. That's how they do. Like Falun Gong practitioners, they can't even the Falun Gong practitioners, they were getting praise because they were like, first they were obedient and stuff, but because they were meditating and stuff, they were actually starting to question the government. And before, the government praised them, but now when they start to question the government, they were like, oh, hell no, we can't do that. So they made it illegal, and they can't even practice there. And it's like their philosophy is basically just like peace. And there are people that will argue, maybe say that some of them are extreme, but whatever, dude. It's like, you're going to like put people in concentration camps for that shit. You're going to like, you know, because of the religion, they're not, you know, really hurting anybody, as far as I know, but they would harvest their organs without anesthesia. It's insane, but it's insane. But people, I'm like, I wish those people that complain about America, they just need to go to those countries. Just leave them there for like a month, and then see if they want to come back. I bet you they change their tune. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's just one of the things is like, I mean, and this is the power of like television. And when you're getting everyone to stay inside your houses and you're not going out and experiencing life, you'll just believe whatever they show on that stupid box.
Yeah. Like my
I mean,
uncle, he's just
people,
like, yeah, even intelligent people, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because if you are controlled through fear, you know, my uncle's a very intelligent guy. I've talked about him. I've talked about my brother. But I'm like, I'm working in the hospital. I live in Texas. I'm working in Texas. Going to hospitals a week, saying that they're empty, talking about how the staff doesn't even agree with what's going on. And he's like, oh, you need to watch out in Texas. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, you've never even been to Texas. He's scared to come to Texas because he thinks it's racist. I'm like, all right, well, you just keep believing what the TV tells you instead of experiencing things for yourself. You know, I don't really know what to say. I don't really have time to spend with those people anymore. Like, I'm working on trying to connect with my tribe. I ain't got time for that shit anymore. Like, I think there's just some people that aren't going to get it. And, you know, I hope that they do, but there's just some people that aren't, you know, and.
You're speaking such truth right there. And that is the reality.
And just right now, we don't have time to spend. Well, I'm saying I don't. Maybe other people do. I don't have time to spend energy on people like that. You know.
Well, no, we call them energy vampires. I mean, I've watched it. Like, I'll see people trying to like spread truth or, you know, the reality of like that COVID's not as dangerous, you know, everything about it. And then you'll see certain people play in, they'll behave. The television literally started telling them like, hey, act like you're actually listening to them, and then just keep asking questions until you wear them down mentally, and then, you know, break them down. And I like, when I saw them like telling people how to like do this, I was like, you're teaching people a form of manipulation and psychology.
It's brainwashing. Well, that's what advertisers, when you go to advertise, because I had a friend, I started to know a little bit about mass media manipulation because my best friend's first boyfriend went to college to study mass media manipulation. And he would tell us this stuff. And we'd be like, no way. He would like, yeah, dude, like I learned that and this and that. And, you know, and I wouldn't even say that he was a woke person by any means, but he was just telling us what he learned in college, you know, and NLP techniques and color and music. And I mean, I'm doing that with my music, but that's what music and art does. It does manipulate and sway people, but you have to think about, are you doing that to empower people, or are you doing that to disempower people and keep them dependent? So like with music that's positive, it raises your vibration. It inspires people. It gets people to think. With music that's negative, you know, for example, forms of rap, right? They talk about killing people. They talk about, you know, degrading yourself sexually. They talk about things that basically like debase you, and they lower your vibration. So you just have to think.
Companies that, as like what you're saying, like if you go look at, say, those rap tracks or any of these pop tracks, say the Gaga puts out, it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
So they use a lot of triplets.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're trying to induce a trance on you.
Yeah.
Whereas like music, say like yours, it's progressive. There's a lot of different like melodic and intelligence theoretical like motifs going on. Like it's things that get your brain cognitively spinning, you know, and that's the kind of you know, stuff, especially the pulling some of that, the jazz influences. You know, I love everything you do, but you know, everyone needs to just keep in mind that, you know, when you get to a certain level with music and everything, we do, as you're saying, we understand how to manipulate people to a certain degree.
But I'm still like, just to be honest and just to be fair, and because I'm outward and telling people that I know about this information now, I'm manipulating people with my music. But you have to think about, is the outcome good or bad? Really, that's how you know that it's good, right? Like I'm trying to break people out of the trance. Maybe I have to induce another trance to help break people out of the trance and get them to think, you know, because just because the music is trance like doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, right? Because there are people that do like ayahuasca, and you hear about all these stories of people that have PTSD, but what do they do when they do these ceremonies? They're basically taking medicine or hallucinogens and they're doing drumming, and it puts them into a trance and it allows them to sort through their stuff. You just have to, the key to that is you have to have a shaman that has your best intentions in mind. You don't want that shaman to manipulate you into doing evil or to doing bad for yourself. You want that shaman to guide you. So you act kind of more like a shaman for guidance to help people, and they're still in a trance. Does that make sense? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that full-heartedly. You know, and I appreciate that perspective, because you can use these things for good.
Because I mean, some of the music
like,
I'm writing, it has trance like elements, and I don't want people to be like, oh, I want people to just listen to music and think about what the person and look at the outcome and how, you know, what the wording is and what the people are saying, you know, because I think there's some people too, they hear this stuff and they're like, oh my God, it's so scary. They have so much control. But if you understand how this stuff works, then it's not scary. And it's actually fascinating because you can analyze it and sit back and be like, oh, they're trying to manipulate me. Oh, they're trying to brainwash me. I see what they're doing. They're not going to get away with it because now I'm conscious and I understand how that works.
A good example of that would be with the documentary that Netflix had put out, and I think the last time you had done a show, some people brought up that they were the one on Facebook and everything, social media. I can't remember what they were calling it.
Yeah. The Social Dilemma.
Right?
Yeah, like
So the Social Dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
They start off good, and then they quickly just seep in like, oh no, but look at how freedom of speech created the conspiracy that COVID's not dangerous. Right, you know, so it, like you said, it's all about the person.
Yeah, you gotta see what their agenda is and what the outcome is and what they're associated with. Yeah,
So,
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna get going so someone else can call in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, somebody's coming now. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hey, could you speak a little bit more?
Yeah, this is Jason.
I can't
So
hear
I
you.
just want to let you know about why they're doing the lockdown for real reasons.
Okay, hey, wait, what's your name again? Nathan?
Jason.
Oh, Jason. Oh, hey, Jason, what's up? I know you, Jason.
How you doing? Good afternoon. Yeah. You know the real reason why they're doing this lockdown, really?
Why?
They wanted to, their plan is to lock down for a year and a half and make the whole world go into. And what they're doing is they want to starve us to death. The eugenics, that they populate the people. And then those who survive, the Bill Gates give them the ID 2020, and then they can buy food, do whatever they want. That's the whole plan.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I can definitely see that because that's part of like the reset. And, you know, sad to say it's kind of working in some countries because they're not even talking about with the lockdowns that there are other countries that aren't getting medicine, they're not getting food.
That's what they want to do.
And, people are dying.
It's like they want to do all that. Because the thing is, that they know they're losing. They know about the Jeffrey Epstein, so like they're getting scared now. So that's why they want people to, because they know they're outnumbered. They know they're trapped.
Well,
so what they're doing is like they're trying to do all the stuff.
No, I believe that, but also it's like they've been planning this, I think, for a while anyway, but I think they've accelerated it. And they'd have to, because from what I understand is like, and this is I'm getting my information from some people that were like at the Bilderberg conference and leaking information from the Bilderberg conference, that they wanted to have everything in place by 2020. Oh, okay. I guess he got disconnected. Let's wait for him to call back. I can't call back from my end. Okay, he's calling back. Hello? Hello, you got disconnected?
Sorry, I got hung up on me. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So I was saying, for years ago, when I start finding out about the Bilderberg conference, they actually wanted to have like the whole, you know, like what is the Georgia Guidestones, that whole thing of it was like 5 million people or something like that, or they wanted to reduce the population. Everything, like the grid was supposed to be up, like the tech grid, like the Skynet shit. I don't know if it's called Skynet, but it's like the Sky, like that was supposed to be up by now, all over. And most of the population was supposed to be diminished. Like everything was supposed to be, the chip was supposed to be out by now, was supposed to be in place by 2020. But because of pushback through the years, I've heard that they're at least 10 years behind. So they pushed their agenda to 2030. And now, now because of what's happening with Trump, like Trump wasn't supposed to get it, was supposed to be Hillary. Because of everything that's going on, they're trying to accelerate it and still go. I mean, they're evil. Evil doesn't stop. They don't take a day off. Evil's never like, oh, I'm tired. I'm gonna take a break. They don't do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, these people, it's like I put it this way, like these globalists, they're gonna lose this. Like they lost 4 years ago, they're gonna lose again. And this reminds me like Germany when they lost the First and the Second World War. It's like the same thing here. Like they're gonna do the same. It's like they're gonna be like Germany when they lost the 2 world wars. It's gonna be the same here. They lost 2016 and they lose 2020.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be meltdown syndrome. There's a part of me that wants to laugh, and then there's part of me that's just like, but those people are crazy. You know? Yeah,
it's like that. Yeah, because the thing is, like, there's no way Biden's going to win his election because look at the crowd, look at the rallies. Like, the rallies are the real polls. It's like President Trump's rallies look like concerts, while Joe Biden rally, he couldn't fill up a classroom. So it's like,
can't even, and he's boring.
Yeah,
he's boring.
Yeah, I mean, the guy has dementia. He don't even know what he's saying. He's like, and one time he said, "No, I want to effective mobilizing," like some shit like that.
Yeah, he has me. Trump has me rolling because I would watch the rallies here and there, like I said, because I've been like on the computer a lot, working on stuff for the music release. I've been listening to a lot of the rallies, and oh my god, they're so entertaining. He's so funny. I had no idea he was even that funny. Like I knew he was funny, but he's just having me. I'm like, this is a comedy show. He's talking about Sleepy Joe. He's like, Sleepy Joe, you know. And I'm just like,
we'll build the cake, Joe.
Yeah. He had me rolling. He was just like, you know, he's just going off. He's going off. He looks like he's having a lot of fun. And I'm just like, damn, man, I can't wait to go to a rally. I hope he has some during his next run of presidency. But there's part of me, I try and step inside the other side. I'm like, what if I'm arrogant like the left was in 2016? But I don't think I am because I don't think I am because I'm like you said, the rallies are the real polls. And I don't even think the mail-in stuff that they're trying to do is gonna work. I'm voting in person.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, but the Cubans, like the Venezuelans, the reason why they vote for Trump because they experience communism in their country, so they know what that is. They experience.
They moved here to get away from that. You know, all these countries were thriving and stuff before this was in communism was introduced. I met a guy, Jason. I met a guy when I was doing Lyfts. And I speak Spanish, so I was able to speak to him in Spanish. He was from Venezuela. So I was asking, and I was like, ¿Qué pasó? Like, what happened? And he was basically, I was like, do you guys vote for it? He's like, no, they like overturned the president or they it was like a coup and they like made us take it and we didn't want it. And I was like, Venezuela's thriving. They have oil, you know, they were producers of oil and their country was really beautiful. And you know, I mean, whoa, dude, that's scary. That's scary because I think it's not. I mean, it's scary, but I think if you have this idea, oh, the country really never progressed in the first place, and you know, then they went under. But if they were really progressive and then they regressed because of you know a coup, that's scary because that means that can happen here. You know,
my God, it's like I could imagine. You know? It's like it's like the thing about these liberals is like, you know what? About the liberals, like you want the 2008 moment to come, right? Because that's what they think about. Because they hate. You know why the liberals hate President Trump really? Right. Because they hate the fact that he's a white man and he don't have white guilt. And when he's deporting illegal immigrants, they feel like, oh, he's deporting brown people. Why is this white man deporting brown people? White people are immigrants too. They're from Europe.
I know. I know. I know.
That's what they.
Well, it's their
That's
ignorance,
why.
and I think I love anybody that has confidence. And I don't really that the whole white guilt shit's very unattractive to me as a person, you know. And I've
Yeah.
always respected people that are white that didn't take bullshit from black people. One of my best friends actually that I grew up with, he's like
Yeah.
that, and I've always loved him and respected him for being that person that never like. And interestingly enough, I remember. See if I can make this story short, but it's funny. So when I've known him since I was in high school, and we were like, my best friend liked him, had a crush on him. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if guys do this, but a lot of women do. If their friend has a crush on somebody, they'll go like and spy on the person to make sure that they're okay and to give them information back, right? I don't know, automatically we just do that, okay? And so I was like spying on him, and then I heard him say, this is funny, but I heard him say, walking into a room, right? If a nigger comes to my house, I'll shoot him. So I ran back to my friend and I was like, oh my God, he's racist. You don't want to like a racist, blah, 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 blah. So years later, I found out, and actually we ended up becoming best friends, the guy and I, but I found out later what happened was I was about 10 seconds late, and he said, well, you know, he said, no, I said, my dad says if a nigger comes to my house, I'd kill him. Meanwhile, his girlfriend was black at the time. He had a girlfriend that was black, and his father found out that he was taking her to prom and like tried to like prevent him from going to prom, and they got into a huge fight. Yeah. And that's how I found out he was racist, because he came to prom with like his face was all beat up and scratched up, his like suit was all ripped off. He's like, yeah, I got into a fight with my dad, you know, because he found out that my prom date was black, and he like flipped out and tried to like they got into like a fist fight. But even before that, he was very like so during the time I thought he was a racist, because it took like almost to the end of the year to find out he wasn't a racist. Yeah. But he would say he wouldn't let other black people white guilt him. And even though in my head I was like, well, he may be a racist, but I do respect that. I remember this guy was talking about slavery. He's like, I didn't fucking cut Kunta Kinte's foot off. Like, why are you going against me? And he just went off on the dude. And I was like, so even from the point of view where I thought he was racist, I still admired him, even though I thought he was a racist. I think there are black people too that would admire more people that are racist than the people that caved to the white guilt thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And you know another thing too, it's like you know these liberals, how full of shit they are. They say, oh, this race is what they said, but it's okay for liberals to say fuck white people,
it's
kill
terrible.
the white man, exterminate. That's okay.
And
That's acceptable. That's
like,
fine.
These kids, my friends'
Look how
kids.
full of shit they are.
Yeah, and how look at how it's affecting these kids. That's the thing that bothers me. I have friends that have white kids, you know? These kids that are growing up and hearing this and stuff, it's going to mess with their self-esteem. That's not healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrible. And the white people that are training them to act like that is just. Anyway, I don't know. It just, but you know, hats off to the white people that believe that know this is bullshit. It's like, you know, we're all being manipulated though. We're all being manipulated in different ways, right? So white people, they get white people with the white guilt. They get black people with the PSD emotional police trauma shit, you know? Yeah. They get Asian people with the pride shit and the saving faith. Like every culture is manipulated and degraded and debased and has their self-esteem sucked from them.
From the left.
Yeah, in a certain way.
The 1%.
Yeah. You know, gay people, they take a different angle too. They use different tactics.
Divide and conquer. That's what it's all about.
It's divide and conquer, but it also is internally. It's like if people have low self-esteem, they're easier to control. So yeah, exactly. So that's another. It's a control tactic too. The whole white guilt thing is a control tactic to control people, to make them feel bad, and just like most people do want to do good, right? They feel like, you know. Yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm so glad that I can see through it. I'm so glad. I'm really feeling really blessed that I haven't fallen for it. Exactly. But I went through that shit. I was talking to my friend again, if she's watching, that I went through this in junior high. I feel like there are a lot of lessons in my life I learned late, but that was one of them. The whole racism shit and the whole, like, I was bullied. I was severely bullied for not being Black enough. And, you know, I was trying to please Black people. And then after a year, I'm just like, fuck those people. I don't care.
Yeah, of course.
I don't care. Like, I was like, they didn't, not only were they abusive and violent, but they were also just fucking boring. It's like, oh, do you want to go skiing? Or, you know, there's a field trip that they're putting together so we can go learn to ski. Oh, Black people don't ski. Oh, do you want to do martial arts? Black people that do martial arts. What the fuck do we do? Like, what do we do?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they have this whole, like, you know, like, they've been brainwashed to believe that all we do is listen to rap music, and that's pretty much it. And buy tennis shoes, you know, but yet they get mad when people have those stereotypes about them, but they constantly perpetuate the stereotype by what they put on other Black people and how they should be. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, but for the most part, like, if you look at white people, for the most part, I mean, everybody's nice too, no colors, but for the most part, I see most white people, they're very nice people, they're very kind, and I'm not saying there aren't any kind Black people either, but I'm just saying for the most part, like. Not stereotyping everybody, but like for the most part, Black people are so angry. Why are they so mad? They're so angry. They're so like always, oh, woe is me. I can't do shit.
They're
like,
programmed.
Oh
they're programmed.
It's
Just like white people, that's what it is. They're programmed, just like white people are programmed to have the white guilt. You know, like you have to have, in order to have a divide and conquer, you have to have duality. You have to have one side. If they're not more privileged, they have to at least appear more privileged than the other side. And then you play those sides off against each other. So this has all been social engineering, and each culture has their parts to play. I would even say down to the type of jobs that they get. Yeah. Because it's like even even if you're a smart Black kid and you're not into you're not into sports, or you're not into rap, but you like science and you want to be a doctor, you want to be a scientist, you're constantly going to be fighting other Black people because they've been programmed to attack you, so you don't raise up. Oh, y'all think y'all better than me? Oh, y'all think you're smart? Y'all think you're better exactly. So and it's like,
Hispanics the same thing too.
Yeah.
The same attitude.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel so bad. And it's always Black and white. So poor Asians and Latinos and other cultures, they don't even get. It's like they gotta pick a side.
Have the same attitude.
But basically it's the same thing. Yeah, you're growing up, and it's the poor class, right? You don't want the poor class competing with the masses, right? With the masses.
It's like
with the upper class, with the elite.
The actor Terry Crews, the Black actor, he said, white people, you could be a conservative, you could be whatever you want to be. And white people, you could date, a white person could date a Black person, whatever. White people, they don't care. They don't say, oh, you think you're not proud of being white. White people don't do that.
Well,
but Black or Latino, you have, if you're Black or Hispanic, you have to think. Because if you don't, you're a sellout, you want to be a white man, you think you're better than me. Like, it's always like that in the Black and Hispanic people. But white people, no,
Well, yeah. I mean, I've known situations where white people would be against interracial dating, but for the most part, I'll say I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, and it's sad, but I think because my friends and I were talking about that too, and she's Black, and she was saying as a Black person, she's experienced more abuse against other Black people, and then. I get so mad though when people sometimes come in the comment section and they say Black people are like the most violent and stuff. I'm just like, well, I get what they're saying on one hand, and then the other hand, I'm like, well, that's not fair because I'm not like that. I know a lot of other Black people that aren't like that, But I really talk about the programming.
Yeah.
The programming
but the thing is,
of what's going on between the races, because I really think that's what it is. I don't think that Black people are violent at their core. I don't think that white people are violent at the core. But then you can say, people will say stuff like, well, which is true. Why there were more white people that are serial killers and that do more crimes? Like I think it's all programming for different things. I think there's a reason. I don't think, but see, it's funny. I was talking about this too. I think that you know, like you'll have more white people that are serial killers and would do more stuff like necrophilia and crazy violent crimes like that. But I also think that it's a form. I don't think it has to do with their genetics. Like people like to say that black people are violent because of their genetics and white people are violent because of genetics. Because I've literally sat in African American or Black history classes and have professors theorize and talk about in a very intellectual way how white people are demented and how they're a big problem. So that's why they have a lot of black people thinking that, you know, white people are very they're sick, and they'll say it's because of they'll say it's because of their genetics. Meanwhile, I watch white supremacists talk about black people and how they're violent, but they'll blame it on genetics too. And
they're not as common as the black people. Like black people are more racist than white, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think it's programming. I think with the serial killers and stuff like that, this is a whole nother thing. I think that's a I personally think conspiratorial wise that has to do a lot with experimentation and satanic shit like that. But I don't think it's because white people are inherently evil. And I think with the black people, understanding now and looking back how I grew up, right? And I don't really condone it, but I'm trying to analyze it, right? So I think because black people are so brainwashed, not only through TVs and movies and raps, but in the education system, right? When they teach us about our history in school, they teach us all the traumatic stuff about our history. Most of the empowering stuff that I know about black people, I've had to go out of my way to find. Thank God my cousin Janora and my cousin Angela gave me information as a kid. Talking about stuff like black inventors and we went to this this town that was founded, I think it's called Allensworth in California. There was a black town that was so knowing our history that we actually did achieve great things, but we're not taught that in school. It's always maybe we get Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, but for the most of the stuff we're taught is traumatic, and it's how evil white people are. And maybe they don't say that at an elementary level, but subconsciously they're talking. It's always about racism. It's also, it creates this whole PTSD situation and paranoia situation where a lot of black people grow up, and if they see that you're exhibiting these white traits, it makes you you're like a traitor. And I really think people become violently racist when they are intimidated, when they sense a threat. Even I'm not condoning it, but even the Ku Klux Klan, they had to be brainwashed and programmed to believe that they honestly thought that black people were a threat. That's why they were lynching them and burning their houses down and shit like that.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's kind of like the same thing, and I think that this has been systematically done. So all this stuff, I'm not condoning it. I'm just trying to add context to it and get people to understand why it's happening. So you see what you know what I mean? But yes, so my friend, she's been so busy, but she's so much better at me being diplomatic and stuff. She's an amazing writer, and she's been having these conversations with some of her friends, trying to get them to think about this stuff. And we were talking about this the other day.
Right. It's
but I see what you're saying too. I don't take offense to it. I've had to think about why that was too, and then why would I get offended? And why would I get offended when people say black people are so violent? When I know that, honestly, that's been my experience too. But I just don't like categorizing a whole group of people, no matter what race or ethnic group there is. I still try and stay open because I believe that this is a show. This is all bullshit.
You're right too, but you know what the problem with the black and also Latino community, you know what the problem, your people's and my people's the problem is? Negativity. We praise the negativity. We worship, we adore the negativity.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. We're programmed to do that, right? We're programmed to do, they were programmed to do that, and it starts with school. That's what I'm saying. It's been systematically done, and that's how the divide and conquer.
That's the problem with the black and Latino community. It's always very negative, always loving negativity.
And it's unhealthy.
They support criminals or stuff. They don't support education. like my parents, like they're from El Salvador, right? And my parents' country is Salvador. Like when they moved to LA they moved to America from El Salvador, they got deported, right? And instead of bringing education to the country, they brought gang violence.
Wait.
See what I
Say
mean?
that.
Shit
Wait,
like
wait.
that.
Say that again. Your parents were. I missed it.
No, I'm just saying that what I'm trying to say that because like for my parents' country, my nationality is Salvadorian. Like when they moved to America, right, they
Mhm.
had the gang violence. Like they created the gang violence, but and they got deported in the 90s, right? And the thing is, like, instead of spreading education, go to school, study, spread gang violence down there, and then now in the country of Salvador, now it's filled with gang violence. So it's like
What? But
they
you know
spread
what?
the gang violence.
And people, and I'm not condoning gang violence, but spreading gang violence is easier than spreading knowledge, because really, it
Yeah,
really
so
is.
there
It
you
really
go.
is tribalism, right? And a lot of
Yeah,
people,
Yeah.
you know,
They're not-
join gangs either A, for protection or for resources. Because if you're in a situation where people are fighting over resources, the biggest, strongest person is going to take over
Yeah.
and be in charge of those resources. So you're either going to join
Yeah.
those people that get the resources, or you're going to be bullied by the people that have the power to take your resources.
yeah,
Because there's no law and
Yeah.
order, there's no law, there's no order. So basically the resources are going to be taken from people
Yeah.
by people that have weapons or that are big and bad
Yeah.
enough to steal them.
yeah.
And then a lot of people like
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to Mo. I wish he would talk. I don't know if he talks more, but I wish he would talk more about his. But do you know Maurice Delk, that channel?
Oh,
Maurice Delk. He's a black conservative, Trump supporter.
I don't know.
So I
No, I don't
interviewed
know. I
him,
don't
and
know who that is.
he's like a homie of mine now. We're like friends. And when I interviewed him on the interview, in the list of interviews I did, Blacker Than Thou, I interviewed like a bunch of like black conservatives
Yeah.
and other people. He was saying that he used to be in a gang, and he joined the gang because he wanted protection, because he was being bullied. And you don't really hear that.
Yeah.
You know, like people, I don't think you're necessarily a bad person for joining a gang if you feel like you're in a position where you have to survive and you need protection. Right? So it's like their family. It's like a family for some people because they don't have a family. They don't have protection. They don't have a family. So they join a gang.
Of course, from the
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that gang becomes their family. It's like, it's interesting how human beings, we have all these needs that still we find a way to meet these needs, whether they're negative or positive.
but and also like it's just also because not only liberals are full of shit, conservatives they're full of shit too. Because you know what conservatives I learned how hypocrites they are. They talk about defend the children, defend protect the police department, or like they can't hate the pedophilia. They don't like that stuff. But remember, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but like the Candace Owens, right? She did the Doxing website. How they never they protect Candace Owens, even though she created a website that would have eventually led pedophiles.
Yeah, I know. I just
So
call
I think
her.
that's that the conservatives hate.
Yeah,
And
I know.
they defend her, even though she created a website that the conservatives hate.
I
you
know.
know,
And the thing is, I don't want to even talk about her anymore. But I'm like, I wrote an article on the
I'm
Truth
sorry.
and Talk.
I'm
You
sorry,
know what?
but I
If you
just-
want to read it,
just
if
one-
people want to know why I dislike Candace, I wrote an article on my Truth or Talk website about it. If you want to, but that's all I'm saying. I'm just done with her. I don't give my energy to her. I love Kim Klacik. That's my girl. Do you know Kim Klacik?
Yeah, of course. I
That's
understand that,
that's
but
a
the thing-
star right there. That's an angel. She's smart. She's gorgeous. She's like
No, exactly.
She has-
She said a lot of stupid shit about the Hitler thing. Like, oh, Hitler stayed in Germany. He would do great when he stayed in Germany, but he expanded. Even though in Hitler's Germany, if you were not a white Anglo-Saxon Christian, you'd be murdered.
Yeah, I
Right.
know, and
things like
I
that.
realize that, but I just, this is what I do too. Like, there's some people that get so struck by celebrity that they're not, it's what do they call that? They say,
They call you a liberal.
yeah,
They call you
no, but it's
liberal,
that
you
quote
jealous,
that says,
you're liberal.
that quote that says it's easier to fool people than it is to convince them they've been fooled. And that's that situation there. So when people compare me to
They're full of
her,
shit too.
yeah, I know they are full of shit. But when people compare me to her, I wrote that article just to send to people, and
Yeah.
I just want to be done with it. I don't really like to give her my energy, good or bad, and then I just focus on people that I do like Kim Klacik. I hope she wins.
But you know what Tree of Logic said, and she made a good point. once President Trump gets reelected after the election, watch these conservatives are going to kick Candace Owens out to the curb because they don't need her anymore because
I hope
Trump
so.
gets reelected. They don't
so.
need her
I
anymore.
hope so.
That's
I
what's
really-
going to happen.
I hope so, and I hope that they put, like, there's so many other great people to promote, like my homie, and I know they're my friends, but they're amazing. Like Red Pro Rage is great, you know. I like she doesn't make a lot of videos, but I mean, in that article that I wrote too, at the end of the article, I put at least 10 Black conservative women that I think are way better than Candace Owens, like way better.
Yeah.
And I
common
just
sense.
rather give them
like,
my energy because even evil people
Yeah.
feed off of
Yeah.
people talking negatively about them, and it's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that I'm not
Yeah.
inspired by her. I don't want to, be fighting on Twitter with people all day. And I don't like, even, like I said, I just rather complacent,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
I just become sarcastic with them. Like, yeah, let's celebrate a doxer.
yeah, a child doxer. She's a child doxer, really. But maybe, I don't know, who knows? She might get exposed because honestly, I don't think that she stopped doxing people. They took her website down, but she didn't erase those 22,000 profiles she had. She erased those.
Who knows?
Who's to
Who
say
knows?
that she stopped doxing people? So she might it might bite her in the ass. But I don't care. That's not my battle. That's more Tree's battle. And I support Tree because I really think that she has
Because
an honest.
that's very 1984. Because remember, Alex Jones said, "I'm against 1984, the Orwellian." That's very Orwellian. That website is 100% Orwellian, and they don't say shit.
Yeah, but Alex has a dick too. You know what I mean? Like, I think Alex has a weakness for beautiful women, like a lot of guys do. Like, the most intelligent man in the world will destroy his life and his career over a beautiful woman. So it's not really like. And it's funny how, like, I see some of the like the MGTOW and they're like, oh, like women shouldn't run anything because they're too emotional. I'm just like, don't act like you won't sell your country out for a pair of tits.
Because I argue in Facebook and YouTube about Candace Owens, and they. Liberal, like, oh, you're such a libtard, they tell me, like, because I go against, I'm a Trump supporter, I don't like liberals, but I have to call out the bullshit when I see it, I can't just lie to myself, I cannot do that, because I used to be a Candace Owens fan before, remember, because when I first found out about the Candace Owens thing, I learned it from Andy Jaworski.
Yeah, totally.
And then I started my research on who Candace Owens was. And then when I saw the Dave Rubin episode with her and Blair White, I broke the
totally. I lost respect for Dave Rubin because at least Dave Rubin should know after he had that. He should know. But, they're just
he still passed the show despite the fact that he saw Candace Owens, her true feelings came out.
I'm expecting a call because I know this guy wanted to call. And
go ahead. Yeah,
let me let you. It's okay.
Tell the other callers we apologize.
Yeah, it's okay.
I give my apologies to the other callers. So.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Also, my wife might call me. So
okay. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye, Jason.
I don't want my wife to call. I'm saying no. Bye.
Yeah. Yes, Michael Ray. Men fight wars over beautiful women. Very true. Is there any truth to the Helen of Troy? Was that over a woman? I don't know. Oh, duh. I just saw the paralysis by analysis. Helen of Troy. There's a reason that story exists. What if you saw a picture of Helen of Troy? She's like, she all right. She ain't that pretty. I don't know. Yeah. People. All right, LeJohn. All right. By the way, hold on. This is LeJohn.
I'm so sorry, V. I got distracted at the house here. I was waiting to get at you right now. First of all, Helen of Troy, true story. Well, I guess true story to a certain degree, mythology.
Mm-hmm.
It had to do with the Achilles and the Spartans. You know the movie, hold on. You know the movie, Troy.
Yeah,
with Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's Helen of Troy. That's what all that movie's about. Mm-hmm. Helen of Troy was screwing with the enemy's son, and instead of doing the right thing, he stole the wife and tried to go back home, and the king went after his wife, and that started the whole battle. Matter of fact, Helen of Troy, she's called the face that launched 1,000 ships, because 1,000 ships went after her to bring her back.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, but let me get over that crap.
That's interesting.
Just watch Troy. That's what
somebody
Troy's all about.
Somebody wrote in a comment, because I'm not able to read all the comments, but So I saw somebody said Helen's booty wasn't big enough to bring down an empire.
Sounds like what?
She said Helen's booty, paralysis by analysis, Helen's booty wasn't big enough to bring down an empire. It's funny.
No, but hey, yeah, exactly. And it's the whole movie because it's cold because towards the end of the movie, I know you've seen Troy. It
Yeah,
went
a
up
long time ago.
Eric Bana went Hector, who I love, when he went out there because he had the balls to go out there against Achilles. Everybody knew he was about to get killed. Even this little baby who didn't even understand what the concept of death was, he would have said he would never see his father again. And right before Hector walks out, he stands there, and Helen of Troy has the nerve to fucking stand there and look at him before he walks out to fight that guy he's ready to kill him because of her. All because, he had to be standing there thinking, all because my brother couldn't keep his dick in his pants. Our kingdom's gonna fall, I'm gonna get killed, and our whole bloodline's gonna die because my brother's a fucking horny pervert.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. Like I saw that, honestly, I saw that movie a long time ago, and I probably smoked a lot of weed before I saw that movie, so I don't remember it that much. I have to, like,
Yeah, it's kind of a major story. It kind of a major.
I know,
war in
but
history.
I mean, like,
it's kind of yeah. Hey, matter of fact, speaking of stuff in history, hey, I'm sitting here like because I told you I draw and stuff. So while I'm doing my art, I'm sitting here watching old episodes of Law and Order, right?
Mhm.
Because I'll be watching Ion, this crap and stuff like that. Because I don't watch mainstream because it's always something. It's some little words going to be said to try and trigger people. It's like you were talking about earlier. That's why they do what they do for. And that's why they tell black people you're a victim and all this shit. So when they need to ride the forces of okay, we're going to lose this election. Let's ride the black people by telling them he's a racist. That way he won't get elected by them. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they manipulate us.
It's all part of the game.
Yeah, no, it's true. But
Yeah.
that's my point was too. So I'm eating my breakfast. With the last caller, we were talking about like how it starts from a very early age. So why it seems so kind of frustrating that black people are super manipulated. But this has been something that's been in the work for years. It has been constantly in our culture.
It will always work because I have a buddy who's older than me, right? And Mal, he's an associate. He was a friend a few years ago, but now since I went to support Trump and he came out sideways at me, he's an associate now to me. And he's an intelligent dude. But if you bring up Donald Trump and racism, he acts like he's a 2-year-old black kid. But he's like a 6-year-old black man. But you bring up Donald Trump, he acts like a 2-year-old black kid.
It really is.
I'm like, dude,
It
what's
really.
wrong with you with the CBS over here, nigga?
It's like a switch. It really is magic. It really is mind control. I talk about it. I joke about it. But have you studied MK Ultra?
So what now?
MK Ultra.
No.
So during the World War II, another thing that happened was a lot of the Nazis were. I mean, first of all, Germany was ahead of us scientifically. They had all of the like
with the Ultra MK shit and all that type shit.
Well, they had scientifically their sciences. I mean, it was that like Germany was the place to be. And they were way ahead. And they were, one of the things they were doing too, they were experimenting with like mind control. And they had, Freud comes from Germany, Jung, they had all these pioneers in psychology that were like, killing it, basically, for lack of a better word. And, they were doing, and a lot of the Nazi scientists, they were doing MK Ultra, mind control. And what the method, what they would do is they would traumatize somebody. So if you're going to make a mind control slave, basically, and if you listen to a lot of the testimonies of people that were in satanic cults that have broken out, they tell them what they do is they like traumatize people. So you have people that are traumatized and then their personalities kind of split. And then you can program that personality, right? This is just an individual person, right? You can program that personalities and you give them certain keywords, you give them certain things to make them to turn those personalities on and off. And I kind of look at on a mass scale, and I feel like that's been done with Black people. And a lot of people, what they don't know, a lot of people don't know too, after World War II, everybody was vying around the world, was vying for the scientists, the Nazi scientists, because they had all the top research. And I think Russia got some of them. Maybe some other countries in Europe got some of them, but the United States got most of the scientists, and it was called Operation Paperclip. And they brought them over here, and they basically, gave them a place to stay, gave them basically like witness protection program, you know, but funded their research so they can further their research. And I think stemming from that research, they figured out how to employ the mind control techniques on a larger mass of people. So like if you're in the inner city community, you're already primed. You already have PTSD, a lot of people, because they've seen people die at a young age. There's people getting shot. They're in a high state of stress all the time because their neighborhoods are dangerous and stuff like that. Add to that the rap music. Add to that the vaccines and all the chemicals that inflame our brains. And when I was talking about earlier about the history that we're being taught, it's always a trauma-based form of history. Nothing very empowering in school. You know, one of my other girlfriends were talking about, you know, as I got older, and I thought I was the only person that felt like this, but how we hated history and how it was always embarrassing being taught history, because basically they just taught, when it came to Black people, they just taught us about slavery and Jim Crow. And then, you know, all the other little kids, you know how fucking assholes kids are when they're kids. They're just like, oh, you were a slave. Your people were a slave. And then you really start to identify with that as your identity. So all these people now that are like trying to identify and you know, with the slave masters, even the slavery, the people that went through slavery, when technically they didn't even go through slavery, but it's been programmed into them. And they're
and act like, you know, we're going to stop slavery, something that was actually ended damn near 300 years ago, and we're going to ask for equality, something that we actually have for the last 200 years in this country, but we're going to ask for it now because we were born in 2020, we just came on this planet, and we want to just complain.
They're still slaves, though. There's still slaves in here. You see what I'm saying? They've been mind controlled. It's black magic sorcery. Like honestly, that's what I see in the song that I wrote. It's black magic. It's black magic sorcery. It really is.
It's just wanted to go because I know because you were so popular. And I was like, I was like, damn, I want to get on with you, but damn, it's so hard to get on with you when you first start. Hey, before we get off air, I do what I really want to holler at you about. What do you really think about your boy Lil Wayne destroying the narrative and going up there saying, yeah, I'm supporting Donald Trump along with Ice Cube, along with Kanye West, along with any rapper who has common sense and they telling you to call your baby's mama daddy across the street when you're trying to sell dope to your next door neighbor Nick. You know, I love that we did that because it destroys the narrative. Because first of all, a lot of people don't understand. Lil Wayne is a college-educated man. That's why he used to always infuriate me that he would go on a microphone and act like a hitman motherfucker to sell records. All right?
You know, I'm really proud of Lil Wayne. Hey, if you guys can do this for me, I have a list of celebrities that I want to tweet my video out to when it comes out. And Lil Wayne, I just actually added him to that list. I have like
okay, thank you.
If you can get my because I know you guys are gonna love it. I know you. What if I release it? You're like, this really sucks. Okay, but I know you guys are gonna love it. But I he's a list. Like I want to tweet Ted Nugent, Lil Wayne, Kanye, anybody. I should put Ice Cube on there too.
Everybody was going crazy because they don't go with the narrative.
I'm so happy. It gives me hope. No.
Did you see what this good Chelsea Handler just had another day the other day?
I'm gonna watch it afterwards. I missed it. I didn't. Yeah, but I just But no. Let me finish. Let me finish with that because you asked me. I don't want to lose my train of thought. He Joy Villa, yeah. Like if you get, I want you guys to tweet and share the shit out of this. I'm trying to raise a lot of money, and I also just want to give somebody something to inspire them, right? For what's going on. But Lil Wayne has this amazing story, and I think if I find it, I'm gonna post it on my Instagram. But wait, can I just say this real fast, please? This is the thing. I'm not surprised because you're asking me what I thought about it. I'm happy. It gives me hope that he did that, but I'm not surprised because I saw an interview with him a long time ago, and they were asking him about racism and all this stuff, and he's like, I don't really believe in that stuff. And he was talking about this story where he got shot when he was a kid, and there were people that like kind of raided the house. And he was a 12-year-old kid that got shot. And there were Black people that literally walked over him to steal his shit in his house while he shot. And he said there was a white guy who was a cop who saved his life. He said he personally drove him to the hospital, took him to the hospital, and did not leave until they told him that he was going to be okay. And he was like, I don't know racism. That was just like the most amazing story. And it was just like, and he was like, yeah, it was the other black people that left me for dead. But the white guy was the one that saved my life.
He actually said that while the black walked over him,
Yeah.
they was leaving there to die. Yeah, happens every day. Happens to me right now as we speak. Because my situation right now, I have friends, being in the black neighborhood all my life, when things went bad for me, and when push came to shove, I couldn't depend on them for nothing. But my white friend, who everyone tells me is racist and doesn't like me and wishes I was his slave, not only is he letting me stay in his house, free, room and board, don't ask me for a damn dime. I gotta make him take money from me when I get paid.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to not like this dude because he's white. But yet all the black people who are black like me look at me on the street and either want to rob me or kill me.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to identify with them before I identify with a white guy who will actually show me compassion. Okay.
Oh, dude, it's so
okay.
it's so funny. When I did the vaccine debate in December, I don't know if you're watching the channel by then, but I went to do this vaccine debate. And before I went, I was actually invited on some shows, and there's some really cool people I got to connect with. But some of them are like in the Black conscious community, and some of so I was debating with somebody in the Black conscious community about vaccines.
Oh boy.
And they treated me like shit. They treated me like a racist white person would. Had those people been white and racist, the way that they talked down to me.
You think you're better.
Yeah. But it was just like the like I was lambasted and laughed at. And I mean, I didn't care because at the end of the day, I handled my shit. But it was, I thought about it, but these are the same people. It's like the same people want to be abusive to you, but tell you that the white people are abusive, but they're just as abusive. So I'm just like, what's the difference? What's the difference?
It's just called being a hypocrite. Black people really, if you would stop, one of the worst jokes, because unfortunately, I've been in prison and jail, and one of the biggest wrong jokes in prison and jail is, how do you keep information away from a black man, B?
Put it in a book.
Exactly. Put it in a book. Because he will refuse to read it, because it will educate him and make him think like a white man.
Dude, well, my mom would hide money in books.
What we talking about?
My mom would hide money in books.
That's a white person. Getting up every day, wanting to work and earn money and pay your own way, that's a white people thing. Black people don't want that. And
well, that's
like, what the fuck are you saying? You saying I'm a lazy motherfucker by nature?
Yeah. Well, you know what is what do you call it? Like you ever seen that Chris Rock thing with the difference between black people and niggas? If anybody's watching this, you guys should Google Chris Rock, black people and niggas. And he talks about like basically there's a difference. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that?
Yeah, because I'm a Chris Rock fan.
Yeah, and he was talking about basically what we're talking about, but he makes it like 10 times funnier. Right?
Yeah, Chris Rock is always because especially with the racist stuff, and that's the one thing we do get away with, because of racism. We can't play off the racism. We get the most racist shit, and white people are like, damn it, that's racist to say, but he's black. I guess you can feel that way because whatever. But if they were to say it, they would be put under the bus for saying half the shit that we get away with saying right now.
Oh, totally, totally. Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
And that's
I mean, I haven't used my black privilege in that way, really. I've been tempted to do it with the mask thing, though. I just want to freak some people out just because I'm black. But you know what? Who really fall for it are the liberal white people. The conservative white people won't fall for that shit because they have self-esteem.
That's why I don't want to cut you off, because I want to hear what you say, because I love listening to you. But I want to go back to what you said about conservative whites. I want to talk about this one conservative white named Chelsea Handler, who had the nerve last week to say, when I never 50 Cent, he was like, he was taking my best out of years ago when I wasn't famous, and he was more famous than me. Well, he really still is now. But anyway, getting back to the story, I just want to tell you guys, 50 Cent had to remind him that he was a black man, because he's like, Trump, like, 50, what are you doing? You're a black man. I'm like, see, and I told you months ago, I had to tell you the thing by a white woman. A white woman will tell me the same thing when I told her I support Donald Trump. She looked at me and was like, have you looked in the mirror? I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? It means you're a black man. You're not supposed to like him. I wanted to slap the shit out of this bitch. I really did.
Yeah, I know.
For offending me like that.
Yeah. But as a black woman, I can curse a bitch like that out.
I had to tell a black person he's a black man. And people go, oh, she got 50. How the fuck did she only get 50? I'm pretty sure 50 already knew he was a black man. He didn't need Chelsea Handler to remind him of that shit.
Well, I'm just gonna like watch. I'm gonna just be scaling the social media for when Trump wins again, and just watch all these people cry. I was like, weren't you? Was this you? One of the people that was like leaving the country? I'm like, why don't you leave?
Oh, remember that? You know, like Madonna and everybody? Oh,
Yeah,
and
I'm
you
like,
get
y'all
elected,
don't
I
leave.
hate, but yet here they are 4 years later.
With their
supporting us.
privilege. But they're so,
I thought you was going to go to Africa or something where you adopt your kids from. You know,
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
go back
exactly.
home, since you don't want to be here.
Exercise your white privilege, where where you can get up and leave, like where most people can't. But you
Yeah.
still decided to stay.
Oh,
but
no.
it would be easier for them to
No.
move. Huh?
I'm sorry, I got to tell you, because I'm listening to my phone, so when you talk, you'll cut off, and I end up talking over you, and I'm like, damn it, I don't want to talk over you, so I shut up, then you quiet, and it's like, we're just quiet.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. I keep cutting you off because I be wanting to say something. I know you kind of, trying to get everybody their fair share to speak and stuff, and I be really want to say a few things to you before I get off the air.
Okay.
And I just want to apologize, all right?
No, I cut people off too, though. My mom will watch some of my streams and she'll call me up. She's like, Burstine, you be cutting people off. You need to stop that. You need to stop. And I feel like the worst person. And then sometimes I'll get some comments in the stream that's like, you need to let people talk. I'm like, I'm sorry. And so I'm really trying to watch that.
You do right, because sometimes people be just dragging on, and people are like, dude, when are you going to hang up on this guy? Because he ain't saying nothing. I know people hang up, but she's nice.
Reverend Rage told me,
You
she's
know?
like, I don't watch your live streams as much anymore because you don't know when to cut people off. I was like,
I know it's real, but
I'm trying to get better.
We all try to be awake and talk to you before we all fall asleep on the conversation.
I know. I think, I am giving a lot of people more time to talk but I'm trying to keep the conversation upbeat. I think this is actually a really good live stream. So I think maybe if I give people time to talk, I just have to be aware. I have to be more aware when it's getting laggy. Because I really am enjoying the conversation today. I don't think it's really getting laggy. I think we're getting a lot talked about and stuff. So how do you feel about this election before you go? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I feel good. I feel just about to win this in the landslide because I'm going to vote tomorrow. I'm going to get up first thing tomorrow morning because my buddy, he went to vote last night. He already voted Trump last night. And he wanted me to go. I'm like, dude, I got so many things to do. When I go to vote, I'm going to go first thing in the morning to where I might be in line, but there'll be like 2-3 people in line in front of me. If there's a fully open, I'm in and I'm out. I'm not going to be standing in line all day long in the hot sun waiting to vote, which might not get counted anyway because they're trying to cheat us out of our votes.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling really good about Trump.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote on election day. I'm gonna get early in the morning. I'm gonna just take a book, take some music, and just be like chilling in line. I want the energy of I want to be able to tell if I have kids, grandkids, that I actually got up.
It.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I want to tell everybody that I'm going to probably put up my hashtag walk away video probably because I've been wanting to do one for a while, but I want to wait right until right now to where it'll resonate more because the election is about to happen right now. Not a month ago, but actually
send me your walk away video. Email me at truthertalk.com and let me take this next call, okay?
Huh?
Let me take this next call, but email me your walk away video when you do it at info@truthertalk. Would you?
What will I do? Okay, I can barely hear you, but if it's something for you, y'all do it. But
email me your video.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I gotta take this call though. Let me take this call because I'm gonna get this call.
Yes. Give me your email, or is it the email to the talk?
Yeah. Info@truthertalk. Go to the website. Okay, bye. Hello. Hey, what's going on?
How you doing today?
Good. How are you? Hold on 1 second. Let me just give this guy my email.
Okay.
How you doing? Who's this?
This is Ricky Manor. I'm in your chat room. I watch a lot of your streams. I also comment on a lot of your videos. I love the way you think.
Oh, thank you.
I was wanting to tail end off of something because I too am a Black conservative, and I have been in groups where, like with these Hebrew Israelites in my area, they are very rude to me. They won't even let me get a word in edgewise.
Wait, you said the conservatives?
What's that?
I'm sorry, I missed something. You said the conservatives won't let you get a word in?
No, not the conservatives. The pro-Black, mainly the Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, yeah.
They're very, they're very rude. As a matter of fact, to talk about a case where there was a legitimate case of racism was the whole shooting that took place with Amber Geyer. and Amber Geyer, when Amber Geyer was given like a light sentence for shooting that guy on his couch with a bowl of ice cream, right? So basically, I asked her where was the outrage when this happened, but because it was a black judge that let him go and they spit a little bit of Jesus in their direction, they wasn't talking too much about it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that they can say to actually try to combat me is, "Oh, you old ass-kissing Trump supporter." You know, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here. I'm sitting here saying something that is legitimate here. Why didn't you guys have anything to say when this was a light sentence given on Amber Geyer, even after Amber Geyer was, saying racist things online? This was a real case of a legitimate case of racism, not that bullshit that you see nowadays where if somebody ran at a cop with a knife, they want to scream racism when the cops shoot them down.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
I'd shoot his ass. Let somebody come at me with a knife and I have a gun. They're dead. I don't give a fuck what race they are.
Right. And those cops were actually backing away from him. They were actually trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. They did not show up with the intent to shoot him. But, let anybody else tell that story. And it's like, it was all about racism. And a lot of, I was watching one of your videos where you were talking about how you're not like Candace Owens, and you're not, because Candace Owens is an opportunist. As many times as I called her out for that, I get a lot of hate for that as well. And it's like, being a legitimate conservative, it's hard for me because I don't know where to find my people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
How do I separate
we're not
myself
all
from
gonna agree.
the true conservatives and the opportunists? And then we got, we're being shadowed by racist talk.
Yeah, I know. What's your name again?
My name is Ricky Manor.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw. Okay, Mickey Manor. I thought I saw you do a video on that, but yeah, I know. It's
Yes,
just
you did.
that you did. You did. I wrote an article, and I put it on my Truth or Talk page at the beginning of October. I'd written it a few months ago, but about it's called "Why I'll Never Join the Cult of Candace Owens," and but I haven't really. I just send it to people now. That's like, oh, you should hang out with her. You should. I'm like, you should reach out. I'm just like, I can't. I did that, and I did a video showing her basically lying and stuff. So people want to see that. I just haven't. I don't really. What do you call it? Share it, and I really haven't made an effort to do it, especially before the election, because I do realize that we're in a war, and we don't need a lot of outward division. But if somebody asks me what I thought, I'm not gonna see. A lot of conservatives too, they're afraid to say what they think because they don't want to get attacked by other conservatives. It's the same shaming shit that people do on the left. I don't give a shit. And I know a lot of people that they're YouTubers. I know that maybe they don't like her as much, or they understand, but they have a career. They maybe want to go to politics, so they don't want to rock the boat. And I understand that, and I don't make people feel guilty. But I'm just like, why do people force me to like her? I don't like her, and I think she's a two-faced, horrible, child doxing person.
Right.
And she's an opportunist. And other people.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I had somebody that, and I can't say his name, but he has his own show. And a few 2017, when that information came out, he actually invited me on his show because he wanted me to talk about what we're talking about now. And I was like, well, I don't really go on other people's shows to bash other people. I'm not going to talk about that. So I ended up going on a show and we talked about other stuff. We didn't talk about Candace. But behind this, when the cameras were off, he was like, yeah, a lot of people know that she's shady, but they're just keeping her around because she's good for business. And I'm just like, wow.
Exactly. But
that's terrible.
But it's bad business.
It's bad business because an opportunist, narcissistic person will backstab you, and they just want power. They'll say anything to keep power. It's basically the same personality type of all of the people that are on the left that we hate right now. So you're inviting that into your space. It's going to come back and bite those people in the ass that know, maybe not. Well, even the people that don't know what they're that don't know that, because I know there are a lot of people that don't know that side of Candace, and they're confused and they don't understand, and it's also really touchy subject because because we are in a war, people attack us and it attacks conservatives, right? And they don't. So when she gets attacked, it's like we're all being attacked. People project their feelings onto other celebrities, other people up there. So when she gets attacked, it's like we're personally being attacked. So people take it like personally, you know, because, you know, they see her being attacked as a Black conservative, as we get attacked for being Black conservatives, or, you know, I guess I'm a conservative. I'm always just like, I'm never really voting Republican, blah, 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 but I have a lot of conservative values. I have some liberal values. But if you say that you're a Trump supporter, you're a patriot, you get attacked like that, you know?
Right.
But
Well, see, here's the thing, though, and one thing that I said in one of my videos is that Donald Trump, he's out of touch, and I don't expect him to be in touch with anybody that makes less than $2 million a year. You see what I'm saying? So basically, when she delivered him Kanye West, and that was like all the big news, Donald Trump thought he had an intro to the Black community, which only thing was he didn't realize that the Black community don't respect Kanye West either.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it took Ice Cube to actually, with Ice Cube's recent action, he's done more in the last, I'd say, month than Blacks had done in 4 years.
The what?
Yep. Ice Cube has done more for Black relations with the Republican Party than Blacks had done in the last 4 years.
Oh, wow.
By him actually sitting down talking with the president.
Yeah, because, you know, the thing that I don't like about Turning Point and Black Suit stuff, I mean, I try not to knock it because there are a lot of nice kids there that are optimistic, and I try not to really attack Blexit and stuff like that. And I really like to see the Black kids, the teenagers that have this, they have these ideals, and they're not hooked on that victim mentality. You know, that's really inspiring to me. But at the same time, they kind of have this, they're going after like the middle class, upper class Blacks. And they kind of talk at the Black people, lower class of the Black people. They don't really sit down and ask them what they want, what they need. It's kind of like, this is what you need, this is what you want. You need to listen to us, and we're gonna guide the way. You know, I'm waking Black people up, because no, Black people are waking up themselves. They can fucking wake up themselves. They can see this shit. She doesn't, I know she's proclaiming herself to be this Black savior, but I didn't need her ass. I can see this shit with my own eyes. I didn't need somebody to come and help me. But
right. If you think about it on this aspect, where if you look at Black conservatism, it's always been here. And, you know, it's nothing that she done that, you know, woke Black people up. She didn't red pill anybody.
Yeah.
What she done was saw a chance to, you know, I mean, because you got to think most of those people that are conservatives, they're Black conservatives in this movement. Well, what you see, the popular Black conservatives, they're grifters. I was at Blexit event. It was 3 people there, 3 other Black people there. And one of the guys, you could tell, traveled with this, what I'm gonna call a minstrel show. The other one, Brandon Tatum and those cats, these guys had like security with them. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So, but that showed me something right there. For them to actually roll with security, that means there's some real money behind them. You know, like you and me, we can go speak at an event. We don't need the security details.
Well, dude, when like, you know, my thing is like, if you can criticize Kanye West or lie on Kanye West and still work, then you must have money behind you supporting you. Like, come on. Kanye West disassociated himself from Candace because she lied on him and said that he designed her ugly ass Brexit shirts. They're ugly. And it was just like, they look like baby clothes. I'm like, what? But if you lie, I'm like, how do you lie on somebody? How do you lie on somebody that huge, that well known, and you're still working? And you're like, nobody bats an eye. Oh, that means you have other people propping you up and controlling you. It's not, I don't think her emergence is very grassroots, basically. You know?
Well, see, here's the thing, though. So, what I don't understand is even when you tell the truth about this person, as a Black conservative, as a Black conservative, it's like they quickly attack you, like, oh, you just jealous. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here. I'm on your side here. I vote for Trump. I'm a patriot too. Yeah, like, what is it about her that's got you, you know, to the point where you're ready to attack me? And I agree on everything that we're agreeing on everything.
Well, I think it's like what I was saying before. A lot of people project their situation on other celebrities. You know, they project, like, that's why people get offended with Obama, right? Because it's like, you know, people project their themselves on politicians and Obama, all these people, because they take the shit personally. Like that's why they take it so personally. So I think that's one of it. You know, this is psychological standpoint that I think they project. So they take it personally because it's like, oh, they're attacking, and they want. You know, I think that there are a lot of even white conservatives. They want to see Black people win. I have a lot of friends that like they're happy to see somebody like Candace Owens saying this because they've been saying this for years, and they feel like maybe if other Black people hear another Black person say it, that it can get through to them. Where they know as a white person, it's not going to get through them. But I think the way that she talks to other Black people who aren't woke or conscious isn't really productive because she talks down to them like they're stupid. So,
Right.
but
And nobody,
from
they
their
don't
point of
give,
view, I think that's what they
it was just
believe.
until recently. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, it was until recently until they actually gave Louis Farrakhan credit for actually speaking to his audience. And Louis Farrakhan's been, been talking down to the Democratic Party been talking down on the Democratic Party for years. And it isn't till just now that they actually gave him credit for, his speeches when he's talking to his congregation. And I'm thinking to myself like, well, wait a minute. The only thing that separates me, you, and any Black conservative on our level from Candace Owens or Officer Tatum is we don't talk down to Black people. We talk to them respectfully. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
No.
And we don't confirm biases neither.
I know, but and we constantly, just as human beings, I feel like we got to check ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's just part of the human experience. And I constantly try and check myself. There are people that I used to agree with that I don't agree with now. And then there are people that I'm agreeing with that I used to didn't. Have you seen Uncle Tom? Have you seen the Uncle Tom movie?
Actually, I read the book.
Oh, you know what? I want to read the book. My friend, but no, did you see the documentary? That's what I mean.
No, I haven't seen the documentary.
It was so riveting. It's so good. Candace is in it, but I don't care. I like the other people that are in it. And I think I was looking at this and I was just like looking at Larry Elder, and I was just like, I feel so bad because I was totally brainwashed, and I was thinking like years ago, I didn't really hate Larry Elder, but I don't know, like he just kind of went over my head, because I was trained to like not take Black conservatives so seriously. But had I listened to what he had to say, I probably would have been conscious about this stuff a long time ago, because I totally agree with him. And he's so classy and he's so smart. And I think the documentary is really good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Because you go into watching some movies and you're like, oh, I have an idea about what I think is going to be and how it's going to be like and blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't really what I thought it was going to be. It was actually better. And it kind of got me thinking about all these conservative Black people, even friends I've had. I've always had friends all over the spectrum, but I've never what am I trying to say? I've never been mean or be like, oh, I can't be your friend because you're a Republican. But I did kind of look at people that were conservative sideways a little bit, just like, oh, they're like, I'd be like, oh, they're a cool person, but they're Republican, like I felt so bad. I feel like a horrible person. But that's a human experience. You got to realize when you're wrong about stuff, and then, realize when you're wrong, why you're wrong, and then move on. You can't beat yourself up over it forever.
Right.
And you also can't be in denial of it.
Well, the thing is too, when the reason when people, and I had to, cause somebody had challenged me on one of my videos when I call people Uncle Tom's. Here's the thing, cause the first thing they'll assume is, oh, that's just the word you use. You never read the book. And yes, I have read the book several times over because I was trying to figure out why was that word being used. And I was like, wait a minute. So Uncle Tom himself was a slave. And as the protagonist, they had to make him innocent and weak and meek and humble, and he had to submit to so many levels. Now they say he was the hero of that book, but at the same time, they had to strip away enough of his manhood from him to make him somebody worth feeling sorry for. Me as a man, I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me. I want to see when somebody look upon me, I want them to see a man that is capable, a man that is powerful, a man that is, and with Uncle Tom, he was a charity case. And he was very docile. He sold out to a religion. He sold out to a spiritual belief that even wasn't his own. So when I call people Uncle Toms, that's the kind of people I'm talking about. The ones that they've been only they're only humanized enough so that people can feel sorry for them, not see them as their equal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's not a threat.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Could you, I'm going to take one more call, see one person calling. Could you email me? Could you be like, hey, put in the subject line, hey, I called you. I would like to see your videos. I think I may have seen a video, but I don't remember. So I just want to put a name to your face. Could you email me at info@truthertalk.com? And
Yes.
I know I'm going to be busy with my music release today, but I'll probably read my email sometime next week. So yeah, I appreciate it.
I'll shoot you that email. Just
right.
Is your contact information in the chat room?
Yeah, I'll put it in. Then I'll put it. It's info@truthertalk.com. But let me take this next caller. Thanks so much, Ricky, for calling.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Last caller. What's up? What's up? Who's this? What's your name?
This is go by the name Bushman. I'm from southern part of Africa. I'm an activist. I'm not a regular caller of yours, but I check your video. I'm also subscribed to your channel.
Oh, wait. Could you say your name again? Sorry, I just want to get it.
Yeah, I said that I am the activist, or maybe just educating people about southern part of Africa, actually maybe, but mostly South Africa. And, because I'm from the indigenous people of South Africa, we are the oldest human beings, and I think, according to looks of things, we are the people who maybe own Africa, but we are still enslaved by blacks, and these are stories that is not told in the world. My videos, maybe if you want to know, it's my YouTube is Black Slave Master Bushman Native of South Africa.
Wait, hold on. Your video? That's the name of your video, your channel?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Black Slave Master.
Ex-slave
Bushman
master?
Yeah, Black Slave Master.
Okay.
Bushman Native of South Africa. Bushman Native of South Africa.
Bushman Native
of South Africa.
Of South Africa. Okay.
Yeah, so we are still enslaved, and this thing is hidden by black people. Blacks both. It seems as I studied this thing and put my puzzle together. Besides both two sides, blacks and whites. And I wasn't planning to talk these things. Was the intervention? I saw everything. So our paintings, our rock, my people have painted all over Africa on the rock, but these people have been exterminated by blacks. On the southern part of Africa, they have been saved by the whites invading in South Africa, and it was not just, it was Portuguese and all over, all those guys, right? So just like you guys in America here are hiding that the blacks and the Arabs tied you up, because the white man was the customer. He was the one who was the customer to buy the slaves. But the blacks and the Arabs, the whites did not go in the jungle of Africa and tie the black people up. It was the blacks who tied up. And when it comes to reputation and reparations and stuff, Africa is still rich. You can also pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the black people but that is not, those are the mentality, the truth that is hidden. Everybody is blaming the white man, and it's just the white man, which is the slave master. Talk about the Chinese slave master, talk about the Arabs, talk about the black slave master. Nobody talks about those. Those are hidden.
Yeah.
So I was also in this black active person, because when you start school, that is when we have been brainwashed that, okay, white men bad, just like orange men bad, that mentality,
Yeah.
So you, after the blacks were the first one who, this Africa, so-called Africa, to my seeing, and as the history, it's already researched, the researchers already show that these people are the oldest human beings, and the bones and everything. And these people, if you go on my YouTube channel, you will see them. They are different. It's just like maybe if you Korea, Chinese, and the Koreans. So it's different people. But We have been so much killed by black people, and we are still slaves. And our people right now is sitting at the Union Building in South Africa, and nothing is happening. Blacks just ignore us, and blacks are pushing. Even now, it's a long story. I don't want to take up your whole.
I know a little bit about some of this too. I have a really good friend from Lesotho, so Lesotho.
Excuse me.
I said I know a little bit about some of this stuff because I have a really good friend from Lesotho.
Yeah. So
yeah,
their story is hiding. Blacks are hiding their story like nobody's business. And they will say there was no borders. White people brought the borders, but these are the oldest human beings. And that's why you see them. The click language that the South Africans are using, it is this people's language. So the black people have also invaded. I have made a lot of videos about that. And these people are the oldest people in Africa, but Africa is now, the Arabs kill them out. And then that's where you see the Ethiopians are coming from. These people were also invaded, like the Arab people invaded the Ethiopians, but it was these people. So these are the oldest human beings, apparently in the entire world. But these people, fortunately, our ancestors already painted on nearly 1,000 years ago on the mountains. And that is our history. And why the language they are using, the click, that language is these people's language. We are different. You will see us a little bit becoming darker, but it's maybe like you're like now we are like maybe you and darker than you, but we were very light people. So then that Trevor Noah, his ancestor, elder, is also slave master. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see his face. He's just talking the side of the white people, but look at him and look at Mandela. That's why you see these people are coming because their black people was raping the Kru people, the natives, and white people in South Africa. They kill them also, but white later save us from themselves and from the white, from the blacks. That is the history of South Africa. So yeah.
Wow.
Any question that you wanted to ask? So I'm trying to go wherever I can to the conservative people, so I can teach you guys the truth, so you guys can maybe come to our rescue or just know the truth, so you cannot be lied because Democrat Party, like whatever, what is this guy, Barack Obama and Oprah, those people are lying to you, and they are just worrying about their lesbian marriage and stuff like that, but they don't free the nation.
Yeah.
Before Mandela, our people died mostly in Robert Island. Mandela is, and while Mandela was, the black people was killing our people, and the white people rescue our people. South Africa is built by white people. If it was not for the white people, our people could never survive the extermination and the genocide of the black people.
Oh, wow. That's so wow. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, so that is the situation. And, even now, they want to take the land from the white people. Even the farm that I grown up, but this is not, I'm working with the entire southern part of Africa people, indigenous people's problems, and I'm picking up for them. So, they are taking the farms, and our people are living at the farms, just living around. Our people, they are shooting our people from helicopters, like in Botswana, and in South Africa, they are banning our people.
Wow.
So the world don't know. And the white people are the ones who save these people. If was it not for the white people, you could have never seen these people again in your life. That's why you saw in Africa, they are the oldest people who were living in entire Africa.
Wow, that's
because the Arabs killed them up, the blacks killed them up, and they were now, our story is like we were nomadics. So even if we were nomadics, it was like, if the weather is cold here, we are going this way. And we were hunters by nature, so we would follow the animals and the weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but Other side in Africa, we have been killed out. I have made a lot of videos where I have said that these people are the natives of Africa. And from there, we are totally, black people love these people without a land in Africa, without any land. And these are the oldest human beings. And blacks have left them without a land. Still, I made yesterday a video about molesting and raping these children. These children, 7, 8 years old blacks are putting them as either sex girl or she must work in the kitchen and sometimes kitchen and now that the white people are these people, our people are like Buddhas. They are peaceful people by nature. They don't know how to fight. Somebody who would they don't know how to fight. They are not aggressive people.
And those people are getting advantage of.
And blacks are very aggressive. Blacks can kill. Blacks do all kinds of things. And our people are now more in. And now when they are saying we are safe, they don't leave. You know what the whites are doing? It was like, leave them alone, live their lives as they want, hunting, and if they want to be in the bush. But now what blacks are doing is, we are united, we are one people. But in the meantime, they end up in this sex girl or domestic, and then she's getting this black child, and their identity is washing out by that.
Wow, that's fascinating.
White was like leaving them alone, and they call that apartheid or whatever they call that. But what I know, blacks are more racist and worse. What apartheid is a white man. I'm telling you, I both my slave masters, and I can tell you, both my slave masters, blacks and whites, but the black whites are the ones who rescue them. So these blacks take them in like, we are one people, and in the meantime, but they know when it comes to work, who to give work, or even the land that the white people gave those people, the blacks are taking it away.
Yeah, I know that. I heard about that. But let me let you go because it's 2, and I stayed over.
About Candace Owens.
Huh?
Yeah, my last point was about you and Candace Owens. I would say that this is, you guys don't understand what you conservatives are. You have to you guys have to get away, private way to communicate, because the enemy is looking for that type of thing.
Yeah, but but in my eyes, she's the enemy, and I don't really focus my attention on her. I just focus. I mean, people want to call in and talk about it, but I focus my attention on people that I would like to meet and work with, like Kim Klacik, and there's also a thing that's called controlled opposition.
Whatever.
And there's a thing that's called controlled opposition, where they have somebody that you think is on your side, but they put them in as a secret agent. And that's kind of what my thoughts are on her, if that makes sense. So I just, and I don't even know her. I met her. I don't even know if she knows who I am. I doubt it, so.
Yeah, but the thing is, to put up strong like myself, when you hear from the black people, you will hear I'm an agent. But I have just picked up this phone and start talking my problem. That is where, so you must be careful how we have to work together, and certain things we must just communicate.
I'll never work with her though. That's the thing that frustrates me about people. Like, why don't I just work with somebody that I want to work with? You know what I mean? Like, people pushing me and saying, "Oh, I don't like her. I don't trust her." Why would you trust somebody that you think is an enemy, even though we appear to be on the same side? I don't think we are.
Because I'm a nature person, and also I'm a cultural person, and I like, I don't like, artificial things. I like play.
But she dogs. You should look. There's an article that I wrote on my site, and then I'm gonna have to go actually, but it's called "Why I'll Never Join the Cult of Candace Owens." And if you're okay with her doxing children and having a website and lying about it, then that's not good to me. It's not, I don't feel like we're on the same team and we have the same mentality.
I do understand your point, but I'm saying, as you guys situation, you guys have to fight for us. You understand? So I just
and I think, she is in her own way. I just don't think that we need to be together. Like, she's doing what she needs to do. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like, it takes different types of people.
If the spirit is not flowing together, you can't do nothing about it.
And I'm not hell bent on trying to take her down or anything, but I'm just being honest about who I think she is. I think that I think she'll show herself eventually, because most personality like types like that, they get exposed sooner or later. But I'm not, you know, I'm just. But like she's doing her thing. Let her do her thing. I don't want to be doing what she's doing. I don't like politics. I don't like. So if she wants to do that, that's fine. And if it's helping people, that's fine. I don't have anything against that. So
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah. I'm disappointed yesterday about how they canceled out Trump's rally at Minnesota. You know what the devil is doing? He's really trying all kind of to kind of really make sure that Trump is not reelected.
I
You know, we
know.
got to be prayerful.
I know, but I feel like it's not going to work.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Stay blessed, my dear. Thank you for your.
Yeah, thank you. I got your
giving me a
YouTube
space.
channel. So Black Sleep. I found it. That's a long title. But thanks for calling.
yeah.
It's a long title, but I found it. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right. Bye guys. Okay, so this is the deal. I'm going to handle my music stuff right now, and hopefully within a few hours I'll do another live call-in show. And I'll release it, and you guys will love it, I think. And it'll be a different change and stuff. And then I'll be doing a live show pretty much every day in the morning. It's about an hour, 2 hours to kind of promote it. And also just talk about the election, get people, you know. So if you guys missed today, you can call in tomorrow. I know I spend a lot of time with people, but I don't know. That's just what I do. So, all right, guys, I will see you later today, and peace and love. Bye-bye. Mwah.